Evening and welcome to another exciting show. And tonight we have Survival Steve. Way
Hello.
and Mad Axe. Oh,
Thought you were going to say something about that's a big chopper.
my word, that's a whopper, isn't it?
Two hands.
Oh, you've got a bigger one than me. And actually, do you remember Carry On Cowboy with Joan Sims? And what happens is, what was his name now? Sid James walks into the saloon and she's, "Hey, cowboy, show me your weapon." And he gets out his gun. She says, "Boy, that's a big one." And he says, "Yeah, where I come from, we've all got big ones." Anyway, tonight we've got in chat, we've got who have we got? We've got Nathan. Who the bleeding hell's he? He's a new one.
Hello, mate.
I think. Hello. Right.
Nathan.
We've got, and as he's the first, he can have a politician or celebrity for a two-finger salute and a raspberry of his choice. So there we go. And then we've got Asperger's as fudge. Hello. Then we got Aunt Sally. Good evening, Aunt Sally, who's either in the bath, out of the bath, or about to get in the bath. So we'll hotline news there. Then we got Mark Anthony. Hello, Mark, mate. Hello. Evening, all. Evening, all. This is Nathan. I'll join you shortly. Yes, note from parents, please. And hello, lads. Alex Gorgeous. And Nathan says, my salute goes to Whitehall. Does it really? Whitehall. Yeah, it could do. Whitehall. What do you mean, the Whitehall in London?
I assume it means all politicians who are linked to Whitehall.
Yes, I suppose so. So all politicians who are linked to Whitehall. Here we go. Aunt Sally, hotline news, not in the bath. So keep us posted, Aunt Sally. You know. Yep, there we go. So later on, we will be having, and by the way, welcome everybody as well on YouTube, but also Rumble as well, and Facebook, and also Soapbox or Radio Soapbox or Soapbox Radio. I always get it asked about face. Holy Land Radio, and also Holy Land Radio FM. Hello, everybody. So there we go. And now, a Barefoot Forager said, Nathan's parents are missing in action. Are they really?
That point might be too much information.
Yes. But go on, get your backside into it. Right. So how are we going to start, Steve? Because, by the way, coming up, you know that Nathan is Minister of Propaganda, and we've got the two contestants who will be his assistants on the show later on. So that's something to look forward to. Yes, the winning contestants, because we job searches, and these blokes are perfect for the job. Clarity, they know, exactly what they're saying. So there we go. So Steve,
very quick question, Chris. Can I have a welfare update on the pigeon, please?
I thought you wasn't going to bring that up tonight. Oh, he's all right.
What she said.
He's going, whoo. And now Exo says, I'm here alone on Rumble. No, you've got another person with you, so don't worry. No, because Sunday's Rumble show is mainly Rumble, and Monday is the YouTube show, so it's mainly YouTube. So that's the way it goes. But it doesn't matter which one you're on. So everybody's welcome. Now, Steve, surviving the apocalypse. We need to put your Telegram channel below here, along here, so that people know where to go. I mean, I can tell them where to go, but you never know. So
I could do that.
Right, have you got the
Oh, I think you're frozen.
Am I? I'm still here.
No, temporarily frozen. It was a glitch in the Matrix.
Now, I can actually bring your Telegram channel. I can actually try and cut and paste it in if I can. I'll find you. I've got a Cult Academy. Where are we? Just looking for it. Oh, Survive the Apocalypse. Here we are. Now, let's see. Oh, here it is. Right. Now, I've just copied the link. Excuse me. I'll just go back to that. Bear with me a few moments whilst I'm pressing knobs and buttons and God knows what. Here we go. So talk amongst yourselves, people. You know.
Well, I'm going to introduce the Fockham Hall Transport Minister because I think you forgot to mention that Paul's in the chat.
I did, didn't I? Miserable sod, aren't I? Sorry about that, Paul. It's National Ignorance Day. I'm actually doing it for charity. I told him to sod off before. Paul, our transport minister's on. Thanks,
Good
Steve,
evening,
for
all.
reminding me.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Right. And here we go. How's that?
Oh, is this techie?
Oh, is it on? Is it?
It's scrolling and everything.
How's that? Is that all right? Steve, Survive the Apocalypse with Steve. Right. Okay. So now, would you like it to stand still, or should I sort of keep it like this, scrolling along the bottom?
I mean, I can't see whatever it's doing. I don't know what is that on. Do I have to be on BitChute to see that? I presume.
Well, you probably see it later. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
I'm happy either way.
I could see it on Rumble Studio, as that's what I'm in, scrolling across.
Oh,
might be less distracting if it was static.
I agree with you. Yeah. Just bear with me a second. I think you're right. I'm just doing that. Yes. Okay. Right. Create banner. Oh, it's still
see it
doing
now.
it. Why is it? I can't stop it from going. I agree with you, but it just will not stop doing that. I don't know quite why. Sorry about that. I'll try and fiddle around later on in the show. But I do apologise. I've just put it. I'll try. Hang on.
Have you thought about putting a leaf in front of it? Because that stops the trains moving.
That's a bloody good idea, isn't it? Bleeding thing. What's the matter with it? Bastard. Why? I don't know why.
And then put a rail replacement on in place of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll give it a third attempt, third try.
What we need is a Fockham Hall techno minister, don't we?
That's right. What you're missing is somebody techie.
Yeah.
Like
where is?
Ta-da!
Sorted.
Oh, champion.
That's done it. Right, that's it. Now, Steve, your advice the other week with a toothbrush. There's loads of heavily armed ladies and gentlemen walking around there with their toothbrush. And my one, which is a Sharpie. Very, very useful.
Just don't brush your teeth with that.
Sharpie. No, but it's a very good weapon.
Yeah.
Pick your nose with Right, so over to you, Steve.
Well, I've got a number of weapons this week. I daresn't say that because I actually have got a number of survival implements, and some of them are rather offensive. The big chopper that you've already seen. Have you seen it unsheathed? So
no, let's
give us a
quick flash.
Some people might have to avert their eyes. Yeah. This is actually a very good quality axe. I'm trying to get it in the screen. So, but you can buy an axe for as little as, I don't know, maybe £10 from a good hardware store, B&Q or something. You can buy an axe that'll last you a lifetime, and they're massively useful in any survival zombie apocalypse situations. Obviously, I'm not trying to promote these things as weapons, but they are also useful for procuring wood.
DIY?
DIY.
Need logs? You need logs as well for your for making fires?
Exactly.
That's it.
So in the zombie apocalypse.
I might have some explaining to do living in a first floor flat, though.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know.
You might struggle having a little wood fire outside in the landing and explaining that to your neighbours.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's a bit warm in here, isn't it?
Well, that's right, yeah. But no, actually, a hatchet, that's what they call it, a hatchet job, is probably one of the oldest type of axes. I mean, is there any particular type which is better than any others, or just a cheap old axe would do?
Hey, I mean, I would just recommend getting a cheap one. That way, if you lose it or you smash it, it's no heartache. This one was quite expensive. It was this one's actually about 70 quid, but it's
Bloody hell.
it's like a handcrafted thing as well. So there's a bit of that going on. But you can pay more than that for an axe of that size.
Really?
I mean, seriously, some of them are like 120 quid. Which again, if you're big into it and you've got the money to burn, hey, why not? But otherwise, 15 quid. I'll tell you a couple of other things while we're on the subject, because we're talking about choppers. It's not just about chopping. We also need to saw things. Okay, so this is a folding saw. And again, you can pick these up really, really cheap. This one is around about the 20 quid mark. This is called a Beko Laplander, but there's plenty of other ones on the market for about, I don't know, 10 quid or something. Again, just from a hardware store. But these, I would say that was my go-to item anytime you need to produce or procure some wood in the forest for a multitude of reasons, whether it's shelter building or getting firewood processed.
And also, I think it's legal, isn't it? Because I know with the Swiss Army knives, I mean, they're very good, but they're only about that long, so you can't.
Again, the law in this country, that if I was stopped in the street with this, they might class that as an offensive, under the knife laws, because this is, it's not folding, it's got a locking blade rather, and it's over 3 inches, so they might class that, if I was stopped and searched on the streets of London, for example, by a copper, you might have something to say about that.
He'd let you go, to be honest with you. That's what they tend to do.
And actually, Exo has said, what's the difference between an axe and a hatchet? I don't know. I thought they're the same, aren't they?
I think there is a distinction, but I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. I have a feeling it's something to do with the size of it.
Oh.
One other tool is useful, and this is just this is like a bushcraft knife. So I'd recommend. I mean, again, if you are out in the woods and you're doing survival things and bushcraft things, you need a decent knife, something with a firm blade and handle. This is called a fixed blade, so I can't fold this. It needs to fit into a sheath or a scabbard. And again, these are the 3 essential tools, really: a saw, an axe, and a knife. And with those, you can do a lot of processing, because that's what you need for survival. You need to get your hands on wood for fires and shelter building. So you need.
So if you're building a shelter, Steve, how long does it take to do? I mean, is it like a 10-minute job, or is it like 8-hour job? Or
if you're talking about a shelter built from scratch using natural materials, you want probably 2 hours, perhaps, depending on what kind of material you've got nearby. How far you've got to go to pick it up and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, but within 2 hours is probably a good kind of roundabout ballpark figure, I guess. But if you're carrying things that can help you, such as I carry something called a poncho, which I'm pretty sure you know what they are, a waterproof sheet with a hood. I could have one of them up and ready within 5 or 10 minutes.
Is it right, though? I mean, I was watching there's a couple that I follow on YouTube, and they said when camping because they actually live in a tent all year round, and they said in the midwinter they will camp in a forest, never in a field, because the forest is a few degrees warmer. Now, I don't know how true that is. I mean, I don't know. I've never camped in camped, yeah, but I've always kept to the field, but in the summer. So I mean, is there much truth in that, or is it just I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do given the option. If it was winter, I'd choose to be in the depth of the forest, less wind. Maybe the brush would capture a little bit of heat, perhaps.
Really? Now the thing is there any good names you can buy for these saws and that knife especially, because there's knives and knives, and there's a lot of shit, excuse my language, on eBay. And there was one that was promoted, it's from years from Japan. There's marvelous knife, and it was loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of bovine excrement. And some bloke did a research on it. And he said it's the cheapest metal he could ever wish to find. It was blunt as old Harry. Just go, and that was it. It was blunt, So, I mean, what is a good make? Which is not going to cost the earth, but a good make. I mean, is there a particularly good?
I would definitely recommend this. This is called a Beko Laplander. And again, these are about 20 quid. I've never had any problems with these. You can get cheaper versions, but this is one of my personal recommendations. 20 quid, a Beko Laplander.
Sounds like foil,
yeah, and this is a folding saw. You've noticed I've put some orange tape on mine because it's green and black. If I drop this or put it down in the woods somewhere, there's a good chance that it'll lose it. So a little bit of orange tape helps.
Now, with the fixed knife in the scabbard, I think that is legal, isn't it? I mean, it is over 4 inches long, but it's not folding. It's an actual knife. And providing you're going out and you're going to use it for woodworking or whatever, or carving or cooking or whatever, I would have thought that was a very good explanation if you had a big backpack on. What's a good one in the range of knives? I mean, I'm not talking about very expensive. I mean, as I say, I'm making notes here. So,
all right.
So you got your Beko Laplander, and that is the saw.
Yeah, well, one knife I will recommend is something called a Mora, so Mora, and I'm recommending that simply because you can pick one of them up, a Mora bushcraft knife, for around about £10.
Really?
And I mean, I haven't actually brought one. It's not on the table in front of me. I've got several other different knives, but I didn't bring one of them, which is a shame because I could have demonstrated it. But the reason I'd recommend that is it's a very, very cheap price, and it's very good for the money. And as long as you're not doing tons and tons of really heavy work with it, it would probably do you for forevermore, in fairness. But they're very similar to this kind of thing. This is a bushcraft knife. And the reason it's a bushcraft knife, and I'll see if I can hold it a bit closer, is the type of knife edge. This is called a Scandi grind. And these are very easy to sharp. So these are good for being out in doing bushcraft survival type things. Mm-hmm. This particular knife, I'll be quite honest, I don't even know what it's called. It's got a very good quality sheath. It's quite robust, and this costs around about £40.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
How often do you have to resharpen it, or does it never need sharpening?
It definitely needs sharpening. I mean, I would definitely recommend. In fact, I'm going to recommend this. That's what I tend to take out in the field. If I'm out in the woods, I don't know if you can see that.
A full Kniven DC3 sharpening stone.
Yeah, so that comes in a little leather sheath.
Yeah.
And it's a little sharpening stone. Yeah, you definitely need to sharpen knives. I mean, I haven't sharpened this for a couple of months, in fairness, but every now and again, I would say.
Is that a watered stone, though, or an oil stone? Because you've got two different types. You can put water on one.
Not. This is a diamond stone, so that it doesn't need water on it. It's a dry stone. I've got a wide variety of sharpening implements in the garage, so water stones are good. You can pick one of them up for like 20 quid. You definitely need something to sharpen your tools with.
I suppose the old idea of using the base of a mug is a bit crappy, isn't it? They say you can use the bottom end of your mug to sharpen it, or but
Right.
See, my dad used to have a file, like the kitchen file to do kitchen knives. Obviously, I don't know if that'd be. I suppose you want to be carrying as least as possible. I suppose, and make your life as easy as possible.
This is something I would throw into a rucksack because it's small and compact. It's not.
Yes.
It's not my go-to. If I'm in the garage, I wouldn't use this.
Yes, that's interesting. Now, Stephen True Seeker said, "Is Steve adapt to knife throwing and axe throwing?"
No, I'm rubbish at any of that. No, I wouldn't throw any of my knives. I mean, this is another type of knife. This is kind of a combat type survival knife.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice it's got a different edge to it. But again,
yes, serrated and sharp at one end, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's definitely worth doing a little bit of homework before buying a knife. And like I say, if you just want to have one knife and you don't want to spend a fortune, I would go for something like the Mora type. Again, for a £10. There's a couple of other makes of a very similar nature, and in fairness, they're good enough for most purposes.
So it's a Mora, and Aunt Sally said she's Googled it, and the other one that you called with the saw is a Bahco, Bahco.
Yeah, Bahco.
Bahco. So that's it. Because I spelled it like Baco for Baco.
Yeah.
There's Bahco. Here we go. Now, what is your view of the people that make the Swiss Army knives? I can't remember their name now, but I've got several Swiss Army knives, and I kind of like them, but I get the feeling they might be a bit of a gimmick. I don't know. I mean,
no, these are. I carry this daily. This goes in my EDC wallet. I'll hold that a bit closer.
Oh, that's interesting.
A knife, a torch, and a lighter. That goes in my pocket every day. That's what I carry. Everyday carry. That's my Swiss Army knife, and these are great. It's got a UK legal blade. Not that I care less about the made up laws that the government come out with. If I'm not going to use a knife for bad intent, well, what difference does it make what I'm carrying in my pocket? But anyway, it's got a multitude of different blades, and one good thing about this, if I can get it out, is this particular gadget, the wood saw blade. That's a definite bonus, and on something that you can fit in your pocket, and you'd probably be surprised how much effect you could have with that in a survival situation. So
that's interesting. And also, I like pliers. I find pliers are bloody useful for a lot of things. And mind you, that's more of a push bikey thing. I usually take the pliers on the bike because for undoing things and doing nuts and bolts up, things come loose, and especially your saddle. It's like, bloody hell, you need to tighten that up, things like that. So that's interesting. So, but is there, Sweden was noted for knives. Switzerland is noted for knives. What about the British? There's the British Army knife. Now, I've got a vintage one that my dad had, I think, during World War II. And he said he got, I think, 2 blades and a funny sort of hook thing on it, which is...
Yeah, the original clasp knives. I bet you there's some, they'll be worth a few pounds if you were to buy one of them. I bet they're quite expensive. These are quite good. These multi-tools, you've talked about pliers. So this is a multi-tool, and this converts into pliers. You've got some, have you? So they're dead handy.
Bit heavy,
this one is.
Yeah.
This one is. This has got a number of different blades and screwdrivers.
That's interesting.
It's got a wood saw, but this one is very heavy. I must admit, it's heavy and bulky, so probably never carry that, in fairness, but I will carry this one, which is the same thing but a bit smaller and a bit more convenient, pocket sized.
That's
it. It's a kit.
Leatherman are the right people for them, but they're a bit expensive, and they're American, aren't they? Leatherman, you got the Leatherman ones.
Yeah.
Didn't the old Swiss Army knife used to have a corkscrew on it as well? Or
Yeah.
have I dreamt that?
No, they do have corkscrews.
What was
Yeah.
that? Was that so you get pissed after you've made your tent and stuff?
Yeah,
Listen,
there's a number of different types. Again, it's whatever kind of tickles your fancy for whatever your purposes and intents are.
but when you look at, you've got the bottle openers, but most things are in tin cans now. There's very few bottles that have got the old serrated caps.
Mm.
Beer bottles, maybe. I don't know.
Mm.
Saw a few in Tesco's when I last went in there, but not that many. So I mean, they're everywhere. But I mean, there's a lot of Chinese knockoffs and things like that, which are sometimes the quality is pretty good with the Chinese knockoff.
Mhm.
But I guess it depends on whether you're going to use it for a weekend or whether you sort of using it for a lot of things, you know. But that fold up thing, I mean, I guess there must be titanium ones that are very, very lightweight, you know, those pliers and things like that. And I think there's a Swiss Army knife that does the pliers as well. But that's the one with all the every bleeding thing on it.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, the range is phenomenal. Yeah, I think you kind of get what you pay for as well.
Yeah.
So,
That's
you know,
right. What about the German Army knife? Because apparently the Swiss are doing sorry, not the Swiss, the Chinese are doing a knockoff. And a bloke reviewed it and he says it's bloody good quality. He says it's as good as the original one. But apparently the originals are as rare as Roggenall's crap now. There are not that many around, the original German Army knives. But I think they're made by the same company that make the Swiss Army knife.
Okay, I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah, but but really, I think that if you've got your full backpack on and you're walking along and the police stop you, you have a very good reason for carrying those things. You say, "Well, I'm a survivalist. I'm camping in the woods. That's what I need it all for." And I was thinking, I suppose with an axe, they're very good for bashing tent pegs in.
Oh yeah, especially if you've got a flat topped. The back with its flat. Yeah, that's a hammer.
What about the tomahawk ones? Because you get in America, you can get the tomahawk ones, but the old
all right,
the Injuns did use.
Or a scalp you.
Yes, but no, it's fascinating because and they're not that heavy. I mean, I suppose if you've got a fiberglass handled axe, bloody hell. He's knocking together, are they?
I think that might have been my phone.
That's the thing, you know.
Yeah.
Now, what's happening there? Oh, hang on. There's loads of stuff. Now, that's it. Yuki Brown said Victorinox, excellent quality Swiss Army knife. Yes, and to think when I was a kid, you were given knives, pen knives, as every boy had a pen knife. You take it to school with you.
Yeah.
You notice?
I had one when I was 8.
Yeah.
I think my first pen knife, and I've still got it.
I've still got it, and beautiful. And also, I had a German one from the 30s, with was it South End on it? It looked like South End, and yeah, it's very, very good. Now we've got here. What we got here? I'm really jealous. This is Aunt Sally of all Steve's gear. I'm a woman who always liked tools and gadgets. No, naughty, no rude jokes. No. Oh, the temptation there. I think there's something wrong with me. Nah, no, not at all.
You can't beat a good gadget.
You can't get a good tool. No.
You've lowered the tone. That's only taken half an hour.
You can tell a man by his toolkit. Now, Ethan Truth Seeker says, "What about spades?"
Yeah, that definitely. I like the army style folding shovels. They're great, multi-purpose. Make a great weapon. Sharpen it up, and the zombies won't stand a chance.
Precisely. And I've carried one. Sorry.
I always noticed that the UK ones they're flat at the bottom that you use to dig the hole with, but the American ones are always pointed, aren't they? Which always seem to be a bit more useful when you're digging, because obviously you need the shape to actually get into the ground in the first place. I think the American ones look quite good. They seem to work better.
I've got an American one, and it is better. It's sharp, and I carry them in my car, and it's actually got me out of trouble before now. When in the ice and snow, when I had to dig the car out, got the wheels going like this. So I did the old-fashioned thing. I've got an old blanket, which is a load of rubbish. Put it under the tires, and luckily it got me moving. And it buggered up the blanket. Yes. Apart from that. Now, what's it? Barefoot Foreigner says, I know that Steve has spares of stuff that he is selling, or maybe his wife is selling. Have you actually? There's an interesting thought. Have you ever thought there's a lot of these survival people, like I can't think, but people on the internet that actually have a little shop on the internet and they sell stuff, like knives and things like that. Now, I was looking at the slingshots, and on eBay, they got one, and I thought it was a bit of a gimmick, actually. I kid you not, with a special laser light sight and a level thing, so you can sort of. I thought that has got to be taking the wee, hasn't it? I mean, that's taking the piss.
Yeah.
I don't think it would work, would it? I mean, do you want to?
I've never tried it. I can't imagine that lasting 20 years before the laser light buggers up. But actually, you just need more practice.
Get your eye in. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't imagine it being very accurate. I mean, my dad made me a catapult many years ago, and that was basically made out of two big, thick elastic bands, a piece of leather on the one end, and basically out of a stick, and that lasted for years. It killed the street light across the road from us a few times. Let's put it that way.
Good idea. And also, what you can use is the inner tubes of bike tires. So they're pretty.
Yeah. Speaking of inner tubes, that's if you ever get a flat tire or you need to change your inner tube, keep the inner tube because they're so handy for a load of things. Not just making tires. Sorry, not just making catapult elastic. But it's also good for things like you can wrap it around a lighter, and if you need to start a fire in an emergency, well, the rubber will light no matter if it's wet, and it will lights really easily, waterproof, and it'll help get that fire going. Obviously, don't breathe in the smoke, but good for that.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. And another little tip: go along to Pound there, and they sell inner tubes. Doesn't matter what size or anything. For £2, it used to be £1. They got up. They doubled in price. For about about £1.52 now. It's worth £2, isn't it? Really, And you get the big ones out of the mountain bikes. So now Aunt Sally, she's coming over all unnecessary. She said that's a really cool axe. Love the case on it. Calm down, Aunt Sally. Calm down. That's it. And now, what we got here? Let's have a look. See what else we got. Here we are. Alice Gorgeous says, "What about a length of wire, Steve?"
Yeah, wire is definitely something to put in your survival bag or whatever you're carrying. Yeah, I carry a bit of wire in my survival tin. It's again great for hanging pots on, all sorts of binding tools onto a stick or something. Loads of uses. So wire is definitely a handy thing to have.
What is the most useless thing, especially in the army? Do you think that in the equipment? I mean, there must be something that's utterly and completely useless if you take with you, which is useful even if never used. Is there anything like that? You think? What is it? What the bleeding are going to use this for?
I think. Do you know, off the top of my head, I would say the most useful thing that you carry in the army is all the rules and regulations. It's like you think your rucksack's heavy, well, you want to carry the rules and regulations about. It's just nuts, and it was getting. It's probably horrendous now because it was full on communism before I left, and
really,
you had to have pamphlets for everything and ticky
Good
boxes
heavens.
for. Oh yeah.
King's rules and regulations. That's what it used to be. Was you could only march for so long, and you had to have a rest and all that sort of crap,
Oh yeah.
And some clever arseholes. I mean, I was never in the army, but Dad was, and he said there's always some clever dick that memorised it word for word, and the senior ranks didn't like them. Now, Hatchy, well, he's really showing off. I used to have a 7-inch blade as a Boy Scout. Did you really? Well, did you show it to your mates? And my mate had a bigger one than me.
That's hardcore. That as a Boy Scout, I'm impressed. I've got another big knife. It's a proper Crocodile Dundee one. This
it is. That's a knife.
Trying to fit it on the. This isn't actually very big. I'd say, yeah, that's probably about 6 inches, I guess. But this actually weighs a ton. It's very, very heavy. I'll show it a bit closer. Look at the profile of the. This you can basically use this as a hammer. This is what's known as an MOD survival knife, and these are around about 50 quid, which I think is quite expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a bludgeon. It's that heavy. But you can chop logs with this all day long. It's not particularly sharp, really? But again, it depends on what you're doing and what your purposes are.
By the way, Steve,
sorry, carry on.
Very quick question. Did the table survive the last one?
I got into trouble for that.
Oh, it's still there.
That was my bloody table. You took that from me, Anorak. That was my line there. I'm not having this.
Mate, you're on. Wait, are you on screen? I can't see you. Where are you?
Well, I should have done because I've just added all the permissions and stuff all over again. But turn on your camera. Yeah, I've done that. There you go. Oh God.
Oh, here he is. Here he is. Hey.
Why am I inverted?
Do you need a 50 pence in your household?
What's that?
Do you need 50 pence in the meter?
I'm scared of the light. It shows too much information. I'm not sticking it on. It was all right.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks. And by the way, Aunt Sally said my dad was a gadget freak. Yeah, mine was a bit like that. He loved his tools and things. He was an engineer. So was my dad. He had every gadget before it was public. When I was a child, that's where you got your interest with tools comes from. So there we are. But anyway, I believe that you're now home and coming up.
What an ordeal.
Well, yes, you had a fantastic bus ride, didn't you? You really enjoyed it, and I'm sure Anorak is going to be really interested in your bus ride.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, shall we enlighten Anorak?
Yes.
Hey. Anorak, right? Okay, so I've just returned home from seeing my girlfriend for a week, and 4-hour coach journey, no problem at all. Coming back into Middlesbrough, that's when things got interesting, right? So one of your favourite transport things, I'm just going to call it a thing at this point, decided to crash on the A66 into 2 other cars and make a hell of a gridlock across the entirety of Teesside, just about. It took about 45 minutes for anything to become, available to get in. So I had a taxi booked. Nope, no taxi. I thought, right, I'll wait for the bus. And I waited for the bus and waited for the bus and waited for the bus, and I could see the buses. There was loads of them, but it wasn't moving. And 2 hours later, I managed to get home. Yay!
But you see, the thing is, though, you got to see the site of Middlesbrough. You'd have seen all the site. Well, probably about 10 minutes, to be honest with you. But just think how much time you got to spend in Middlesbrough. I mean, don't get any better than that, does it?
I mean, I'm totally thrilled, mate. Yeah, it's the pinnacle of civilization here up north, and beyond the wall. 2 hours. I could have. I'm not joking. I could have walked home from the town centre to where I am in 50 minutes. 50 minutes. Now, the good thing about it is, and this is usually not the case around here, I managed to, everyone was grumbling on the bus. I mean, rightly so. I mean, everyone was grumbling. And I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to be lighthearted about this. And then everyone we just started having a laugh, and the whole bus just kind of elevated, and it was just, that was about the only
You
good
don't
thing
get
about
that in
it.
a car, do you? See, you get that interaction on buses. You don't get that in a car.
Yes,
Down
you do.
here-
What a crock of shit. I brought the swearing. What a crock. Absolute crock. I mean, I usually swear at dogs in a car, but there you go. There's that. Hey,
But down here, down south, they'll probably accuse you. How dare you talk to me?
This is why you should never leave home without probably the most important survival item there is, and I'm going to demonstrate it now.
Oh, what's that?
You ready?
Ready?
Oh, I've got one.
Morale.
Oh,
You need morale.
Yeah, you
I
do.
thought you were going to show a bus timetable for a second then.
I'm just going to check it out. See if it's,
As you do. As you do.
What's it? What?
Hey, do you want to see my knives? I figured I was going to join the party this time, so I've got two. Right. So the first one I'm going to show you. I probably shouldn't mention names. What do we think of this one? So somebody in the chat will recognise that.
What is it?
Nice and shiny. That's what I like. That one. So there you go. That's the first one. Not that I would ever carry them. Look, we understand. The other one is this one. So Steve, you can tell me what this is. So
I can't see. Hold up a bit.
Hang on.
It's very dark.
It is a bit dark, isn't it? See, I put the other one on. And I was shining. Oh, for God's sake! What's the state of that? Oh, now you're going to see my head being all shiny and stuff. There you go. There you go.
Ah, that looks. Is that not a Mora type knife?
I don't know. So I've been told it was a craft knife for
Is
sort
it?
of like bushcraft and stuff like that. So
Right.
there
Okay.
you go.
Well-
There's an interesting story behind that actually.
Yeah.
So it was a gift on my
Very
birthday.
nice.
by,
Very nice. Even better.
Yeah, there we go. Carbon steel apparently.
Well, I'm going to drink to good health.
Oh, what's that? What's good health?
Exactly.
I've got
Wow.
water. Does that
What is
count?
it?
I'm all boring today.
Yeah. But imagine how much entertainment you would have had on the bus if you'd shared that around. I mean, if you would have been.
I was absolutely knackered, mate. If I'd have done that, I'd have been asleep. I'd have ended up in Gizmo or Twizzygill or something.
You could have given that to the bus driver. You'd have probably
Even
been
the bus
Carlisle.
drivers, honestly, I've never seen bus drivers just all like everybody. I mean, the whole town was gridlocked. I've never seen anything like it. Even the bus drivers are like,
town
"Oh my
planning, to be
God, get
honest.
us out of here!" You know.
I was
I'm
like
not-
that with Harlow.
Right, as
It was good
propaganda
like with
minister,
Harlow.
can we stick Anorak in a dungeon for propping up the enemy or something? Bus travel and stuff like that.
Hey, I don't
We're
operate
not
them, I
having it.
just like them.
I'll be able to. But we've actually got your two assistants have passed the interview, and we'll be showing them soon to the audience. Now, I believe propaganda minister, you need two sidekicks, people that are very clear and people can understand exactly what they're saying. That's what I believe that you.
Is that
you
what we're
need.
going for?
Yeah. So this is the
Oh.
first assistant. I hope you will enjoy the first assistant. And now let's have a look. I've now pressed the wrong button. Here we go. That's silly sod. Here we are. Right, here we go. And this is the first. Now I hope this works. Okay. It should do. Now
Oh, no.
let's see if it is it working? Let's have a look. I pressed the wrong button again. Here we go. Can you see it? Right. And
Let us see a picture. Yeah.
yeah, see the picture, right?
Yeah.
Hang on a moment. Just bear with me just one moment. Where is it now? Full screen, and off we go.
What does that mean, actually?
That means, how are all you? I am very pleased to see you this afternoon.
How many languages can you speak?
I can speak altogether 3 of the space languages. One is Venusian, the second is Kruger, the planet Kruger 60b, and Pluton.
What about plutonium? What does that sound like?
Plutonian is Mortis the Mokalata Costa Costa Motor, the Mortis look at store up and Dicorasia to correct need to correct the correct to do what's the Colarmocho.
How did you learn these languages?
These languages have been a gift sent from me from the actual people by rays. And even at this moment, although you cannot see them, they are sending these rays down to help me.
By some mental process or some mechanical process?
No, it's by some mechanical process. But apart from this, I can't tell you how it's done.
What about Martian?
Martian, I don't know much about their language. Although I've heard so much about them, I've never been in contact with them.
You haven't actually been to any other planets yourself?
No, not yet.
Who drew that picture, did you?
No, a lady done this for me, of the name of Mrs. Gill.
And where do these people actually come from?
They come from the second planet from the sun Kruger.
So in addition to speaking
That's
these
frightening.
languages, I believe you can also write them. This is correct,
Yes,
isn't it?
I can write these languages.
I know
Can
it's
you
just,
see an example of their writing, do you think?
Yes, certainly.
See him flicking the bird.
What does that mean, actually?
This here means that we are here for a purpose, which is something to do with your Earth. That we will reveal later.
I see. Could we see some Plutonian writing, do you think?
Certainly.
What does that mean, actually?
This means, now they have written this here, a message to you. Before long, in 1969, we are going to show you proof. Patrick, they call you. Did you mind us here?
Not
I'm
at all,
called
no,
Patrick.
far from it now.
We have we have watched you for a long time. We are interested in all your great men besides ordinary people. We are interested in everyone.
That's most encouraging, because Venus...
Mr. Bernard Byron from Essex moves in a realm of the unknown which, I think you'll agree, makes it very difficult for us to disprove him. And yet he has the charm, the cheerfulness and the courage which is common to all independent thinkers, and for which I myself have the warmest admiration.
You got problems, mate. Where the hell did you dig that out of?
What did you search on?
Now, what do you think? I think you'd be perfect as an assistant to propaganda
Thanks.
minister. I think he would be. He's clear. He's exactly what he's about.
Steve, you can't laugh. You've got no room to laugh here. I'm just saying. Brownies comes to mind. 5 hours of the. I mean, what was your language? How would we?
Well, there's another candidate.
Can we have a little? Can we have a little insight into the language of Steve James?
I was definitely channeling that night.
Yeah, exactly right.
Something you were channeling, mate.
Well, just
Do you
say
want to
though,
see the- do you want to see the
that
second-
chap's conversation was more interesting than a Keir Starmer speech, and more understandable.
Perhaps Keir Starmer's copied him. That
He
could
must have
be.
done.
It could be. But do you want to see the second candidate? He's even
Was the
clearer.
guy
isn't
stood on an live electric cable or something?
His testicles were between but this is another geezer.
bloody comment.
This is the one. This is the true candidate. Now I'll just do this. Here we are, and see if we can.
Like Jim Bowen.
volume on.
Good evening. Some Radipoles offer you either Harley Milos or Wetty Grip in the nasty, rainy, slippy slider. They're very both levels. Now, Pirelli P3 has a mine bog-load combinaire of 2 steely belties and an extra nylon fold belty. This delivers Maximo smile loads and outstanding fold in the Wetty Gripper. Oh, horrendous expensive fold, I hear you uttering. But no, P3 is thrifty much on your banky balancer than Barber-load Pirelli P3. All clear now?
So there we go. That clears it all up for you, doesn't it? It's just so clear. You understand fully what he's talking about, don't you? You know.
He seemed more normal compared with the first one, I have to say.
That's Professor Stanley Unwin, and he's bleeding funny. He was, you know. But
And we're told to follow the science when you got Muppets like that.
The first one, though.
You mean you wouldn't trust them?
Oh yeah. I'm going to go and start learning Plutonian now.
Brilliant. So you should. I mean, you know, respect the noble art of Plutonian. You know.
Come to mind for a barbecue. You'll speak Plutonian for sure all night.
Steve, we're not. No. We're not. You're not getting a button. No. We've been there. We're not doing that.
Now, the first one looked like
interesting night.
Well, you look like the type of bloke come and sit down next to me on a train or bus. You know. Anyway,
you've got far too much time in your hands, mate.
I tried to think what you searched on there, Chris, in order to find them in the first place.
Now we got
Plutonian Language for Dummies, Part 1, please. Oh, here you go.
Yes, I think that's what we ought to learn. Think about it. If all the truth
absolutely.
movement learnt plutonium, that would screw the powers that be up, because it wouldn't be able to understand a bleeding word we're talking about, and neither could we. So there we go.
See, now, I'm just going to say you probably get more sense out of them if they started talking like that, with the amount of psyops they've fallen for.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, trigger time.
Now, apparently, Parafoot Forager, who's she? Oh, yes. Barefoot Forager. Apparently,
you know she is.
Yeah, I know she is. Apparently, we should be using copper tools, not on zombies, but on the soil. Yeah, they're a bit soft, though, because copper is a very soft metal. Unless it's copper coated, I would have thought. Just a thought.
Isn't it supposed to repulse demons and nasties and stuff like that as well? So you wear a copper ring. So iron and copper is to repulse demons and burn demons, apparently.
Copper drinking vessels. What do you think about it? Because I'm thinking of getting one from India on eBay. They're supposed to be fantastic for cleaning water, where it kills bacteria. I don't know quite how true that claim is. I don't know.
I use copper pans. I mean, I'm not fully aware of what the score is with copper, but apparently it's got health benefits and etc. So.
As we said, that copper pans are very hard to come by. I used to go on our local antique shops, and you couldn't get any for love nor money. They were hard to come by, copper pans.
Yeah,
apparently stainless steel is the next best option.
Yeah.
Don't know, I suppose it is.
Yeah, but they're starting to cost big money as well. I mean, you can get some good ones in stainless steel still, but you're talking about 30 quid at the minute, and that's just for like a, fairly decent size, but
Apparently, cooking on an open fire as well is meant to have more health benefits than cooking on things like electric rings as well. I'm sure there's plenty of people who have done some sort of research into that. But speaking of open fires, this is another great little gadget. I'll see if I can hold that closer. And if I was to do that,
I've got a fork that does that.
Right. Hands up if you think this is some kind of telescope. Come on, I know you were thinking. This is a little, what do you call it? It's blowing on a fire. It's not a pig.
Blowpipe.
It's like a blowpipe. So do you know when you're blowing on a fire to get them going and what have you? That's what this is. So these are dead handy to have in your bushcraft survival situations.
Really?
Yeah, it's tremendous.
Where'd you get them from? Are they on eBay, Jobbik? I've never seen them.
There will be eBay stores, etc. Bushcraft stores will sell these. They're only a couple of quid. I always have. Well, I'm going to put it. I've put labels on things. Guess what this is? Yeah, fire kit. So I'll carry that in my fire kit along with things like this, the ferrocium rod. So this is a sparking tool. And again,
that sounds a bit plutonian, that does. Ferrocium rod.
Yeah, I speak pure Ferricium.
Oh, I like these. Yeah. Right, Steve.
Oh, I burnt the table. Oh.
No, you're not burning the table. I need to do presentations on it. Where have you got any of those spare?
No, I've got two of them. These actually make good little self-defense weapons as well. That's just it's like a steel bar.
Someone.
Oh no! Hey, they're fun to play with. I mean, it takes you about. Well, I'm not gonna. It's quite embarrassing. It took me about half an hour to figure out how to use it, but it's like once it clicks, it's.
Well, you're looking for the button.
It's a lot of fun. Oh man, you make it look easy. I want one.
It is easy.
Yeah, it's good. And it's the only show that you got a flasher on there. Steve the Flasher. Here he comes. Flashing his.
I've got my little rubber strips from my car inner tube as well, which goes in my fire kit.
That's good.
Yeah, so definitely need something like that. Here's a top tip as well.
What's that?
Pencil sharpener, so you can get a bit of stick, and I'm just going to demonstrate with this. You give it a stick, the stick that you've picked up off the ground in your pencil sharpener, and you've got little wood shavings to help get your fire going.
Now that's an interesting one. That's one that you'd never think of. That is a bloody good one.
Yeah,
that really is.
So do you effectively just take everything out of your house when you go on these survival trips and just, I can use that, I'll use that. End up with a lorry load of stuff to take with you.
Yeah.
I usually, I've got things kind of pre-packed. Prepared. It's a zombie apocalypse. You've got to be prepared. You can't run around. You can't run around when the zombies come and wonder where you've left your pencil sharpener. It's got to be ready.
And I would have thought you'd have done it the old way. You know, you get your pencil and sharpen it like that. You know, it's kind of like, are we not doing it that way? That's the way my dad taught me to do it. It's like, Dad, we've got pencil sharpeners now.
Yeah. Well, I might need to keep that sharp for the zombies.
That's right. Was it hi from Crete? This is Daisy. Hello from Crete. Hey.
Hello.
Evening.
That's it. There, what we got here? We got lots of ding dings going. Here we go. And what else we got? Birthday candles are. Hang on. Stephen Truth Seeker said birthday candles are good. They don't blow out easy.
You can get. Here's a great one. That's a great point, Stephen, because you can get the ones from joke shops which actually don't blow out. I'm wondering if I've got one in my kit. I do have them, and I sometimes put them in. And actually, my survival kits, I keep those joke shop candles in there, the ones that don't blow out. So
wow,
so worth a look at.
Got years of experience in those. That I can see that. I mean, that knife you showed me, that you could tell that's been through a lot. That knife, you can tell by the amount of times it's been sharpened and that. But
you want to see its table, mate? Its table's really been through it. It's got dents and bangs and it's cuts all over it. Poor thing.
I was going to say it's not my first zombie apocalypse.
It's the best apocalypse ever, though, Steve.
I don't think I can read this one out. By zombies, do we mean? Yes.
The arm spear.
Ouch.
So, yeah. Now,
I'm pretty sure that's what we're all
yes.
referring. Yeah.
Well, when you see the people walking around, Barefoot Foreigner says copper and zinc balance each other. You need to make sure you're eating your shellfish if you're going to intake lots of copper.
Yeah, no, but then people accuse you of being shellfish, and you can't win.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, Daisy said,
I'm not a fan of shellfish.
Really? I tell you what, I got some iodine from our guest next week.
Oh.
And yes, she's coming on. She's doctor. I'm talking about doctors. In the post, sorry, I got a load of junk mail through my post. Hang on, I'll tell you who's on next week. She's quite famous, actually. Where is it? She's so famous, I can't remember her name.
You got to check the name.
There's got to check the name. It's Dr. Myhill is coming on, and I actually bought her iodine, which is strong, one of the strongest iodines there are. Normally, it's 3 or 5% proof, but this is higher. And I just put one little drop in my tea in the mornings, so it gives me the iodine that's needed, and that's why I don't think my feet will be so cold probably this year. I don't know, but who was it now? Oh yes, keep up the good work, Steve. That's from Daisy, and that's nice, isn't it?
Thank you, Daisy.
He's paid her to say that though.
Now, what's it? Yeah, Fock Bobs, I think. Always be careful with a wax candle around and how it's passed around the campfire. Laugh out loud.
Need the scene for Blazing Saddles is what we need.
Yes.
What did we miss with that one?
I'm going to have to drop off now if that's okay.
Okay. See you, mate.
Good to see
Have
you
a
all.
nice evening.
I'll be listening, as always.
Thanks for joining us. Have a nice evening.
Just don't come to Middlesbrough on a bus, mate. You'll never get here. You'll never reach your destination.
I'll set off today. I'll be there next year.
Hey, actually, before you go, you're in Coventry,
God.
aren't you? Are you in Coventry?
No, Coventry.
Where
How
you
dare you
based?
know?
I've been there.
You're not?
No.
Shropshire? Oh, all right, show off, whatever.
Coventry?
I could have sworn you mentioned Coventry at one point.
I probably did.
Oh, look
Probably
at
said it
Steve.
was
Steve, can you not set fire? Hang on a minute. Steve, no setting fire to the table, mate. That's not good. I can see the smoke coming off.
Harlow.
I was just gonna get my next demonstration item ready.
Oh,
Which, do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Oh yes, please. We like to see your.
I don't know if I can do this in front of the camera, but this is trying to get that right. This is something called jute twine. So basically, garden string that you tie up your tomato plants with. And I've just got a bundle of it. What I'm going to do is, while I'm talking, I'm just going to roughen the edges a little bit. With this is just the back of a hacksaw blade, and all I'm doing is just making. Can you see? If I can hold that a bit closer, can you see I've just roughened that up a little bit?
Yeah.
Right. Do you know what? I'm just going to light that from here using the sparking tool, and I'm sorry this is off camera, but you'll see how easily that lights.
Wow.
Right. So I can use that just to light fires instead of a match. So once you've got this to light, you can then stick it in your fire to light that. And you'll also see that it's on a little steel tube. So I can just put the fire out like that. And then reuse that again. That goes in my little fire kit. And this is just something I made myself. So
that is.
Oh no!
I like that.
Yeah, Daisy said don't set fire to the place because she ain't got house insurance. So.
Oh, smoking away.
Wow, that's terrific. That really is. And those fire sticks, I think they're available on eBay, aren't they? On Amazon and places like that.
Oh yeah, definitely recommend them. That'll last you forever.
I like those.
$5 or something. And
Is it right? You scrape a little bit of the old stuff off and put it on a bit of paper, and that
you can scrape the. It's called ferrocerum. You can scrape some of that off, or you can get this one. This is another good survival tool. It's very similar. It's got the ferrocerium rod or the ferro rod just there. But this is attached to a block of magnesium, and you scrape the magnesium off, and that burns really hot. So another little top tip.
These are fantastic.
Got all the best kit, hasn't he? Really,
he really has. I believe you do survival courses, don't you, Steve? So we better give you a good plug on that one.
Yeah,
and of course, the details are down. No, not over Nathan's head, but below Nathan. It's got Survive the Apocalypse with Steve on Telegram. And so these survival courses, they're mainly in Welsh Wales, aren't they? But you do other places like Peckham or...
I'm open to offers, so if anyone has got a group together and you want some survival talk or experience or night out or some sort of course, I'm quite happy and willing to consider things like that. So if any groups are wanting to have a guest instructor, so to speak, I'd be happy to come aboard. There's not a great deal of interest in fairness with survival stuff, so it's not a massively lucrative job.
Really, I'm quite surprised. Now, Aunt Sally said, "I just want to marry Steve now." So if you're not tied up there, would next Saturday be all right if you're free? You know.
Well, he's going to get into trouble in a minute now.
Yeah.
It's like I'm saying nothing.
I'm not allowed to answer that question. Next week you'll be finding that in the back of my head.
Real hatchet job.
But if you do, can I call first dibs on it, because I like that axe. It's very nice. It's very handy.
It's a nice axe. Baked beans work well as wind for keeping a fire going.
Fuel,
especially but Blazing Saddles. That was the one, wasn't it? But, now,
with all the cowboys. Yeah, they don't make them like that no more.
I'm upset, Aunt Sally. You don't want to marry me. Oh,
bloody hell.
Do you know how you get cold feet, Eric? If you're getting cold feet, I've got the perfect sock for you.
Oh, please.
What do you think of that? I know it's a bit weird looking.
Yeah.
This is called a Millbank bag. So when you're next on your survival trip out in nature and you come across a really dirty pond, but you're dead thirsty, you fill this up. It's just a canvas bag. You fill it up, put your dirty water in, have your cup underneath, and it'll collect clean water. And as if by magic, there you go.
There's one made earlier.
But it'll filter out impurities, so the water will be a lot cleaner through one of these. I was going to say you could wear this as a sock, or what you can do is use your socks instead of this. So in an emergency, you can put both your socks together, do a similar thing where you filter the water through it, and the water will be significantly cleaner coming out, although it'll taste of cheese.
I was going to say, clearly, mate, you've not seen my socks. I'm not sure I agree with you for that.
What you will need, though, is some method to purify or sterilize the water. These one, am I allowed to kind of plug things on? I don't know if that'll Sawyer. That's called a Sawyer. You've got one, yeah?
Yeah.
That's called a Sawyer mini filter. And these will last for ages, and it'll filter, thousands of gallons of water. And the water will be safe to drink through one of these. Or you can get cheaper ones. This is about 35 quid. You can get ones for about tenner from some of the Chinese suppliers like Temu, etc. Shop about.
Really? Yeah, so that one I've never used it. My one, I think that one is the English one I've got. But because would you advise people? Well, I'm one of these nutters that keeps a bag ready most of the time. But would you advise people to have a bag ready? So at a moment's notice, they can shove it on their back and off.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do if the cops come round your door? You need to be out the back door. Scarper.
What I would like to ask you, though, is in the cold, because it's excuse me, if this it's the extractor fan, it's going to be in midwinter. How do you keep? You see, I know for a fact that if you've got a tent, if your body's next to the earth, you get frozen up your arse. How do you keep yourself off the soil? What's the best place to camp to keep it as warm as possible?
Well, can I chip in with an answer for that one? Because you can get these Steve will know the right answer to this. I don't know what they call them. It's like a foil blanket that you put over the ground. You can get them in roll-up mats and just foil blankets, which insulates your tent. So
excellent.
Steve will, he's the.
If you want to do that, that's great. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around Crazy Derek's house and sleep on his sofa.
Crazy Derek. I mean, have you introduced the audience to Crazy Derek yet?
No, I've never heard of him.
He's the hardest man in Sunderland.
Sunderland's not a real place. We don't talk about Sunderland. There's Teesside, there's a gap with stuff in the middle, and then there's Newcastle. Right? That's right, isn't it?
Kind of.
Back to me now, Mad Derek's coming for me.
You wouldn't want to tangle with Mad Derek, Crazy Derek. No, Derek's my camping buddy, so we go out on crazy camping escapades. But what would you do? I mean, sleep in your car. Sleep in your car, and if your car's not available, sleep at your mate's house. And I mean, I don't mind sleeping in the forest, but come on, any fool can be uncomfortable. Go around your mate's house. But in realistically, if you do need to, if you are out in nature and you have to sleep on the floor, well, you need some form of mattress. And if that's just made out of forest material, well, so be it. But you're far better having some sort of insulated mat, like a thermal mat, a foam mat. There's loads of different things on the market, but a foam mat is from a camping shop for under a tenner. It's better than nothing, and then you can build up by using forest debris. Make your bed as comfortable as possible. It gets really cold on the forest floor, so you definitely need something.
Full blanket like the ambulance give you. That's Alex Gorgeous has said that. And someone said, Hatchy has said Marla. And Stephen Truthseeker said air mats. That's interesting. I've noticed a lot of people now, though, with the survival, they have a tent and then they put tarpaulin over the top of the tent. So it's like a tent within a tent, which is
extra waterproofing, I guess, isn't it? It's just, But again, you've got to consider that if you're genuinely going out camping, you've got to carry all this gear anyway. So it's, I suppose, in a survival situation, it's about how little you can carry and survive on it.
Get away with,
and so the best guy to ask is sat right there, wrecking the table, and Hey, Steve, why are you not in Greece at the minute?
I didn't want to go.
You didn't want to go. You wanted to stay in frozen northern Britain in October, as opposed to beautiful.
I'm not a holiday person. I'm a right weirdo. I don't really do holidays.
Shocking. I'm going next time. If you get the so just I've got my passport now. You can extend the invite to me. I want to go.
Right, Eric. I'm in Rumbling studio space. Are you really? We all have our problems. Let's have a look. Hello, David. Yeah, unmute your microphone. About here then. Thanks, mate.
Stick your camera on. Let's all embarrass ourselves.
Hang on, right. Turn camera and join stage. Right, sorry.
There you go.
Hey,
hello.
Hello, people. Right, good to.
All right, mate.
And I thought that was a very informative sort of take on what we need for survival, and probably what Steve would call a bug out back. Where you grab your. We should really. I mean, who knows when the electric is going to go off or anything else, right? You grab it and you've got to go. Also, Steve mentioned cars. I've got a what is it called? A transducer, a transport. Anyway, so I can literally run a laptop off my car battery, and so my car's actually better equipped than my house, right? So they're crucial things. But I did want to say about all the advice that Steve's given and things, but we're actually under a little bit of a threat now. So I'm going to make an example, a real life example. So my partner, God bless her, for a actually crappy bloody 15 grand a year wage, works at a college which is quote multicultural, right? Which means fucking headache. Sorry, which means a bit of a headache, right? So dealing with a lot of people that have a lot of problems. She teaches English. But and this is in a certain part of Yorkshire I'm not going to mention, but get this. So here's a scenario where I want to sort of look after my partner. We've been together sort of 12 years. She's the light of my life, right? And yet some issues happening in her classroom which send me mad, because of course I can't steam in there and sort of help her out, and no one can. And the woke, just as Stephen Nathan wrote a book called Fake Awake, then this whole fake woke sort of thing also, you've got this whole fake sort of we're in an era now where people pretend to be helpful, right? We're going to help the needy and the poor students and all this stuff, and that's just like being fake awake in this sort of scene. It's also a fake version of education or the government trying to protect. They don't give a shit about us. It's part of this agenda to do with all this other things to do with. And me and my partner call it helping hands. So what happens is, of course, in colleges, then people now say, oh, I want a classroom on my own to do the exam in because I get too stressed if there's someone else in there, all this other stuff. So you've got that sort of helping hands, stupid side, right? But on top of that, then get this. So what she has to deal with now is that, I mean, imagine the insanity of this. So certain people are caught with knives in her classroom or in one of her other classroom, right? And she can't do anything about it, and neither can security, right? And this is the college sort of way of dealing with things. What happens is, once you're caught with a knife, get this for logic. Once you're caught with a knife, you then go on a list where only then can you be scanned as a youth. Well, these are like 14, 15, 16 years old, right? Only then can you be scanned by the security and this is a big campus sort of college area split and stuff in West Yorkshire. Only then can you be scanned by a security guard. Other than that, you're allowed straight in. Well, what sort of logic is that? Where, of course, only when you are found with a knife or you bring one out with your mates or you threaten a teacher can you do that. So I said, I'm going to get you some CS gas, right, to take if some of these fuckers, right, 14-year-olds, and in my experience, teenagers, right, are far worse than, you go into like people in their 20s. By then, you've learned a little bit of stuff. There's lots of idiots in the 20s, but if you still got testosterone, your hormones, all this other stuff going, then teenagers are some of the worst because they act on impulse. They haven't yet developed that sort of mental brain, right, to do that. So how does a teacher like my partner deal with someone that then produces a knife in a classroom? And I've got another story of another friend going back who's one of these superheads who went and she had a fountain pen thrown at her that stuck in the wall. So classrooms are a nightmare, and that's just one thing. But so of course, what can you do? You can't buy. You obviously you can't arm a teacher, right? Because that's gone, right? But you can't even get CS gas for a teacher. Or anyone that wants to protect themselves. There is something that's come out that Steve or Nathan might know about. So let me just try and find. Eric, I should have tried to send you this before. And let me try and find the name of it. But it's something that was mentioned, and it's actually, Steve may know, it's now a dye. So the police have passed it as okay. So it's sort of one step down from CS gas. What you do, it's a dye that lasts apparently 7 days on someone's face and skin, but also it gunks up their eyes. It's a red spray, and it sprays 7 meters. Steve, have you heard of this stuff?
No, I've not.
No, right. I'm not familiar with that one. That's completely new.
Right, Eric, can I send you something now? Right, here we go. It's called Farb Gel. Right, I've got this page up here. How do I send this? And do you think you can put it up? Because I think this would be useful. So the police, I don't know whether it means, the police forces in Britain, of course, as you know, are local regions. So does it mean the police have passed it? They're claiming the police have passed this stuff. Right, here we go. Hang on. Can you see?
Food dew spray?
Farb, right, FARB, farbgel.com, and this is a quite lethal thing that will gunk up the eyes of an attacker, and also then is very hard for them to get off. So not only do you then debilitate them as if they try and attack you, it's not like CS gas, but apparently it gunks up the eyes, but then for 5, 6, 7 days, it's very hard to get off clothing and skin. So if you type in, I don't know, Eric, if you can do this, because this is, I'm pretty sure, is it a UK company? Yeah, it's in pounds here. Who knows? But anyway, FARBGEL.com. And I thought, well, for God's sake, I'm not being sexy, but for our women, I don't want to sound like that, or for any of us, I'm not the world's best fighter, but it's just like, my God, people need something in these. If you're attacked, the problem is with the British laws at the moment, the guns have gone. Do you know what? Knives are more. I think knives. I'd be interested in what Steve thinks about this. I think knives are more lethal. To be honest, I'd rather face someone firing a couple of shots at me than them coming up with a gun. With a knife, you can do so much damage with a knife. And so I'm interested. What does Steve think about that? The idea that we've banned guns, but now knives. As I said earlier in the chat, I said machetes. Now the youth, fucking machetes from Amazon, lethal things, right? So what does Steve think about?
We're on true YouTube. Got to be a bit careful. Sorry.
And I was just going to say another thing as well. I'm not entirely sure that guns are banned in the UK. I know you can get a license. You can get shotguns and rifles and things like that. It's not an illegal thing, but you've got to pass a few checks to get them. I don't think they'd let nutters like us use them. That would be ridiculous, wouldn't it?
Sorry, what are we on about here? I mentioned knives and guns. So the guns are bad. What do you mean by what are you saying is might be legal?
No, you can actually get a license for a gun. You got to get a license.
No, I've been to a shotgun club. Yeah, you can do that, and you can get you can get a license up as long as you show that you're a responsible person. You can go all the way up, and you can get most guns you can get in the USA. People don't know that. that, and the police keep it quiet. But they're constantly clamping down on at the moment on even the shotgun licenses. There was a case in London recently where this guy blagged, and he off the internet he got a British shotgun license, and he blagged this a classic this old guy from the southeast that brought him to his flat. I've forgotten his name, but if you find it online, it's an amazing sequence event, and the police were so embarrassed. But of course, what they do, they used it to clamp down on shotgun licenses, and that's not the thing. It's the idiot behind. It's not the gun. It's the idiot behind the gun that does these things, and it's outrageous in a way.
It's not, I mean, let's face it. Anything is a lethal weapon if it's in the hands of the wrong person. But
well, I mean, okay. Well, let's consider this then. I've got a flamethrower. I mean, clearly not a military type flamethrower, but I've got a flamethrower. It can do a fair bit of damage, and yet it's perfectly legal to buy them. And all it takes is a gas canister and a bit of fuel. And so that in and of itself can do a ton of damage. So, and that's available on Amazon. I don't know what the question was now.
Well, no, but
and also look at what Warhead Rex said. Don't underestimate the bow, arrows, crossbows too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're trying to ban those. There was another incident with a load of people that tried to raid a cannabis farm, and they got shot in the leg with these crossbows. So they're trying to now ban crossbows as well. And all this is ludicrous. It's just like make people responsible. It doesn't matter whether it's a shotgun or a crossbow. We should be allowed to have those sort of things. I'm not even a gun fan, but society is getting a bit. It's getting a bit violent and weird. So,
yes, but if I could cut in there, excuse me being a bit rude, but Graham Hart, who's the head of I think it's the English Constitution Party, has said that, now, I do apologise if I've interpreted this incorrectly, so I'm not this is what my interpretation of what he said, is according to the English Constitution, we have the right to bear arms in this country, like in
we
America.
always have. It's a scam,
and it is a scam, and it is they changed the law. It's not really the law because it's a statute. The statute is the law as such. It's an agreement. So and providing that it's responsible people that's using these arms, you wouldn't put it in the hands of a lunatic or a madman or something like that.
No, but
we just call them politicians these days,
The problem is what they do is they then they use mental people or disturbed people, and every time they use a shotgun or a bow and arrow, they then make that a big issue. They don't say, well, look, there's so many 100,000 people shooting shotguns, clay pigeons, whatever, safely with no incident here, and that comes onto the Dunblane incident, which if you want feeling brave, we can discuss another time. But do you mind, Eric, or do you want if I tell you my main defense thing? I mentioned it last time, and it's to do with, if you want. Because imagine, so my partner goes into these classrooms, faces teenagers that pull knives out, mental testosterone-fueled teenagers, and you've got a girl there that's on her own, there's no button she can press to get security. They're like 3 floors away, right? But this happens. So what you can do is you can go on to Amazon, buy the hottest form of legal red hot chili peppers, dried form, right? You mix it up and liquidize it, and then you add this thing called PVG, which is vegetable glycerin. You mix that in. You can put a bit of water. It doesn't always mix that well. And by the time you've let that sit and you've liquidized it a little bit, you can then sieve it, put it through a sieve or a sock or coffee filter paper. And my God, you've then got a lethal mix. And these are usually they're from California, but you can get these really strong chilies. Mix them down, add this secret ingredient, which is vegetable glycerine. It's very easy to get. And
not sure
then
it's legal.
Not
sure that's legal.
It's all legal. And the thing is, and then what you do, I've got it in. I've got one in my car and one in my front door. Although I live in a nice rural area, but you never know what's going to happen. Then you chuck it in a water pistol. It's lethal. Let me tell you a funny story. That when I made it once, so I made a batch of this stuff up a few months ago. I then, as I was mixing it, obviously I got a bit in my hands. I then went to the loo and touched my male member, and for the next 3 or 4 hours, I was in agony. And that was simply, you're talking a couple of molecules touching. It was lethal. So the stuff's lethal. God help you if it got in your eyes, right? But of course, I think even if it gets in your eyes, so let's say I don't think you're going to get sued or done by the police if you sprayed that. If someone's coming at you and you sprayed that into their eyes, then yeah, it's going to be agony for an hour or two. But it always wears off. That's it's a natural product. So it's like CS gas. The police use CS gas, don't they? It's like tasers. Tasers really painful. CS gas, pepper spray, really painful for a bit, but they wear off. So you're not going to be in prison for killing someone. And that's all I want to say. You can find your way around this stuff. It's insane that you have to pull out. You're going to look right nerd, aren't you, when someone comes to attack you and go, well, I've got a water pistol. Well, that's what I've got in my car. I've got a water pistol. I have one right by my front door, right, just in case. You're going to look a right idiot, but it's effective, and you've got to use these things. I mean, Steve showed these things like laws and stuff. But sorry, carry on.
I was going to say, I think you've got to be a bit careful on that. DJ B2 said if you blind someone with the chili thing, you're mixing it, shows intent. And this is the thing, it's the intent. And this is why I think that Steve's idea, what he was showing last time we was on the show, is better because you're armed with a toothbrush, a pen, innocent things. But armed with something you're going to spray at somebody, I mean, you wouldn't be putting that mixture in your food or something. You've got to have a reason to have it for an innocent reason.
Well, if someone's coming at you with a knife or something, I mean, what you're going to do? You've got to be very skilled to use it. I had a friend once who was like one of these firewalking dudes, right? And he used something like a toothbrush. It was a steel thing, and he knew where the pressure points were on your thigh, your arm, so he could, and literally it would disable you. I don't know. This guy was a karate dude, and he could literally hit you in the thigh, in the arm, and you would be in agony for like the next 3 or 4 minutes. So that's great, but not all of us.
The thing is, I know what you mean, but the thing is there's this thing called intent. If you go out with the intent, we've got to be very, very careful with the laws in this country.
I get that.
And you got something you're going to spray. They say, well, what have you gone out with this chili pepper mixture for? And you can say, well, I'm going to put it on my salad. Well, no, you're not going to put it on your salad. And it's pretty obvious.
That's an interesting point in itself. Do you know why? And this is one of the reasons why I say get rid of the government and get rid of the cops. And one of the reasons for this is because it dumbs people down. So we're talking about self-defense, and when it comes to self-defense, and bearing in mind this is one of the fundamental laws of the universe, the right to self-defense. And if that means you have to chili pepper somebody in the face, stab him in the eye with a knitting needle, or drop a piano on his head. Well, if you've defended yourself and if you've done things in accordance with your self-protection,
and that's the point.
Natural law. Natural law.
It's between it's what about, you mentioned intent, Eric? What about the intent of the other effort that's coming towards you? It's got to be matched. And I agree. I'm not going to go and stab someone that's come towards me with just their fist. I'm not. But what if it does get to that sort of level? What if it is my partner in a classroom that has some nutty teenager that's with a knife? I mean, the thing is,
well, you've got a point. Yes.
Well, I don't give a shit.
The thing is, though,
I don't care.
Yeah, but if your partner was to do that, she'd be the one that got into trouble. That's how twisted this is.
Nathan, she wouldn't be dead, which is probably so she could get into trouble, and she could blame it on me. I go to jail for it. I'd go, I gave her that, right? I gave her that. I go to jail for it, right? If it came to that, but in that case, the British laws are fucking stupid, right? If that's the outcome, because if someone comes towards you in a classroom, you're just a teacher delivering lessons, and as we've seen at this college, 3 or 4 people a year get caught with huge knives. I mean, getting them out in classrooms. Then what is she to do? What is she to do?
Again, I don't dispute that. I mean, it doesn't seem to. So, okay, the bit of the country that I live in, right? The other day, we had just hearing about this today. We had a massive gang warfare, guns, knives, the lot, in an area that's not even 10 minutes from here, right? And so what happens to the chavs and the roadmen, whatever you want to call them these days? I don't know. There's that many names, scoundrels. What happens to them? They get let off. They run away from the police, and so all the CCTV cameras and all the police that are around and all the surveillance, and they can't catch these little dickheads as they're having gang warfare in the streets. Yeah. But you can't carry a chili spray, and you can't carry.
Well, hang on a moment.
You know what I mean? It's
we've got something that's we've got another sound on it.
You can't rely on them, right?
Barefoot Foreigner has said that chili tincture you've made would stop what's named.
It will stop an elephant. I guarantee you.
5 drops every 5 minutes into your cheek. Now that's interesting.
Well,
So
so
it could
so
be
I'm
in
gonna
case
I'm gonna
someone's heart attack.
so Holly makes the best chili tinctures. So if you ever need some of that, Holly. No, she
Yeah.
does. I mean, it's good
No,
stuff.
I don't doubt it. But I wouldn't mind. I mean, my God, I wouldn't want to eat the one that I've made. I'm not a chili fan anyway. But my God, it's it can be a
Now,
nice thing
Fair
used in
enough.
just a little bit, right?
now hang on a moment. Daisy 44 said,
Mhm.
if anyone on here can gather a large group to learn Steve's skills,
Mhm.
let us know. Survival, self-defense, occult knowledge with Nathan, let us know. So that's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Cheers,
give us
Daisy.
a venue and we'll do the talks. How about that? You
That's
put a
brilliant.
venue on and we'll do the talks.
I done a mixed bag actually down in Brighton a few weeks back, where it was self-defense, survival, and the occult all in one. So that was a
Well done,
proper
you.
mixed bag.
Show off.
Yeah. Well, it is just a bit of a mixed bag, but and that's. Do you know what? There's I don't know if you ever watch any of the cop videos, particularly in America, where obviously they're a little bit more armed than the UK, but I've seen cops attacked with US cops attacked with a guy with a pocket knife. Basically, this guy with a knife fought off two cops, and I'm not commending this at all, but he fought off two cops. And he had, you could say, the tactical advantage over the cops who had tasers and guns. In fact, the two cops fired tasers, which were unaffected. He was unaffected by the tasers. And he basically was in a position where he could have killed both of those cops. As it happens, one of the cops then drew his gun. He managed to shoot two random passers-by,
Oh
and
dear.
he discharged several bullets, and this wasn't just 2 or 3 shots. This was almost a full clip.
Yeah.
And the guy was still alive. In fact, he was still able to hobble about, and he was basically 10 foot away from him. That was with a pistol. So it just shows you when it comes to self-defense, and a knife is a massively dangerous tool. I mean, it doesn't have to be a big one like that.
Can I just say that since George Floyd, and we had a case in London, God, I forgot the game. There was a guy that was caught in London. Then his mother became this peer, Stephen Lawrence, right? So he was shot in a car. But since then, and George Floyd, the problem is that any sort of police action, I don't like the police really. I don't like a lot of the laws around the police. Don't like all the other stuff around it. But at the same time, police have been restricted in what they can do now. And certainly in America, like Steve's mentioned, they now can't. I mean, they literally. That their main service weapon cannot be. I mean, it's hardly ever used because they're not allowed to. Even if someone's running away and they're committed to murder, they can't do anything. They have to be under a form of attack before they can use these sort of things. So they're down to stuff like tasers and whatever else. And they, as Steve said, they're sometimes ineffective. But over here, our biggest problem isn't so much that it's the response times compared to America, where police forces are funded by the local area, and they're pretty well funded in many places in America. If you watch some cop shows in America, they will turn up within a couple of minutes of a phone call. Try that over here. Try that. See how long it waits if you have a really serious issue. Especially I live 10 miles outside the nearest sort of city, and my God, we never see a police car around here. So you're on your own, and that's all I wanted to say. So you might. I'm not recommending the use of chili spray. Anything. I'm just saying. Sometimes. Good. Well, I appreciate that. I thank you for backing up. Yeah, I think we're a bit too careful sometimes on these channels, because it's like, what's wrong with defending you and your own? What's wrong with that? And if you want, if that's a problem, come and get me, jail me. What I think we're getting a bit too cautious with this, because life outside, life is getting very rough outside. People are getting let off. People are getting let out of jail soon. You don't know who's around. I don't like thinking that.
Do you know what? To stop, cut in sort of mid-sentence, but one of the best things you could do to prevent crime, petty crime, all these gangs, yobs with knives, etc., people who want to go out and cause ill harm to somebody, the best thing you can do is get rid of the police, and trust me, there will be fewer and fewer crime as a result, because when there's nobody policing, people who can apply the rules of self-defense, there will be very limited scope for these hooligans to go out and do what they're doing. I mean, this might sound crazy to a lot of people, but I would get rid of. I mean, I'm not saying I would do it.
Change of mind. I agree with you. It's a change of mind. I mean,
Yeah.
crime used to be relatively low in this country. Why? Because people lived in communities and they were brought up with a standard sort of family. So
Communities. You mentioned it. That's the thing. So if you get rid of the police, do you know what? Communities then people come together to defend. My neighbours are great round here, right? But they're too scared because you know what? You're going to get charged. You're going to get charged with something. But let's pretend the police went away. People would come together and you'd forge your own sort of defence. I think
that's right.
a good issue, a good thing.
Let's face it, the police now are the government stormtroopers. That's all they are. But Mark Anthony's come up with one.
Tweets.
Cayenne pepper will stop a heart attack, apparently. Yes, I've heard that one as well.
It'll stop an imbecile as well.
Yeah. Now,
Maybe we should spray it from the skies. That's a joke. Don't give me any ideas.
I'd definitely attend if Steve did an event that wasn't too far from here. 2 hours away is okay.
Where is that though? Where are you based?
She's in John O'Groats.
I think she's somewhere in Essex. Because we often meet each other in between you and I. We meet each other in Miles's place. Yes, we often see each other in Miles's place, but there might be something in the pipeline. I can't promise anything. If you ever were with John Hamer when he came down to a place near Ware. So
that's near Norfolk, Cambridge.
No,
that's Cambridge area. Where?
Yeah, no, it's in Hertfordshire.
All right,
it's just up the road to me, But the thing is that so yeah, don't worry. I might have something up my sleeve. You never know. Now, Barefoot Foreign just says David's glycerine tincture sounds a bargain.
It is cheap as chips from Amazon. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, you look.
You're banging headache afterwards, like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're looking at, if you want a big packet, you're looking at I just ordered some 2 days ago. 12 quid for the. I can give you the name of the. I don't want to get Eric annoyed by saying too much about this. I'm not promoting any use of this stuff.
It's not me getting annoyed. It's YouTube. I've got to be very careful. On YouTube. Yeah.
FM, right? Sorry, actually, right.
Yes,
sure, right.
But, I don't want to lose my channel. Though.
Don't lose your channel. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm going to stick some eating on. It's bloody freezing in here. Baltic.
All right, Eric, I understand that, but yeah, £12 from Amazon. Choose these. There's a certain brand. Actually, email me. Eric gave the address out a few days ago. I'll tell you. I've forgotten the brand, but that, and then just buy vegetable glycerine and do your own mix. And I'm not saying be offensive. I'm saying it's a last resort, as Steve would say about all his stuff, right? It's a last resort defensive measure, but you've got to be prepared these days when people carrying bloody machetes from Amazon, so we can get worried about saying all this stuff. But on Amazon these days, I watched a British cop show a couple of weeks ago. They found these machetes. They were like something out of Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. These things that had certain, all these chips in to then take out a bit of flesh. And these machetes were mental. Nothing like what they use in whatever Indonesia, Africa, for chopping down a bit of leaf and forest. So you've got to be prepared these days. And the key thing is, as Steve would say, I think, is that the problem is when do you employ? So Steve's just given a variety of things out to, like you can use this, you can use that. Well, when do you use it? Because each one might be a grade up, So are you using a baseball bat, or are using he used pepper last time to throw some pepper in someone's face? All these things are useful at the time. When do you use each one? And because the police may come in at that point and go, well, you used excessive force. It's the same sort of thing, isn't it? So when do you use it? And that's where you've got to have your brain. And I'm saying, but if someone comes towards you and kicks your door open and has a knife, or as I said, my partner's teaching English in a classroom, and some effort's had a bad day that's age 14 and doesn't really care, because that's how a lot of 14-year-olds are these days, and has a huge knife, then you've got the right to do that, and not a lot else will work, and that's it. So anyway, I'm going to leave you to it. Right?
I've got my own kind of understanding on that, because I used to be a soldier, so which is a deadly occupation. So and again, I'll be careful what I say, because obviously I'm not sure what the restrictions are on YouTube, but I had a number of different types of pieces of equipment that I could use to fend off an aggressor. And
how did you choose those, Steve? How do you choose when, as a soldier, how do you choose when to use X weapon versus another? I mean, how do you choose?
Fairly straightforward.
All right.
Range. So what can I use at a particular range? So let's just say you started off at 300 meters. Well, it's going to be an assault rifle or some sort of light armor weapon, which has explosive rounds. And then if it comes closer, it comes to pistols, bayonets, daggers, and fisticuffs.
Getting dirty.
Yeah, but ultimately, again, I'm not advocating for violence here, and again, you probably know my stance on the military. Even though I was in it, I'm no longer in it, and I would ban the military as of tomorrow, along with the police force and the government. So I would get rid of all of these things, because fundamentally, nobody needs any of these things. The only things we do need is two simple rules, and one of them is the non-aggression principle, and the other one is the self-defense principle. So if somebody breaches the non-aggression principle and they try to do you harm, well, you go and bash them with the nearest brick until they stop, or whatever's to hand. And if that happens to be cayenne pepper that you've pre-mixed into a giant bucket, and you're going to tip it over his head, and then you're going to follow through with a knitting needle, well, if that's your plan to defend yourself, I couldn't give it two shakes of a duck's tail.
You're highly trained.
Can I ask one question? So, would your bosses in the army, is there such thing as proportional use, or are you let alone in the battlefield to do whatever you want, or could you get pulled up on proportionate? Is that a term? Proportion? You know what I mean? Proportionate.
Yeah. It is actually. Yeah, it's got to be proportion. It's got to be legitimate. It's got to be within the rules of war. There is rules of war, which is why it's a farce. I mean, if it wasn't a farce, there wouldn't be rules. It would just be go and nuke these people because of X, Y, and Z. But no, it's got to be proportional. It's got to be legitimate. There's quite a lot of other rules. It's got to fit in with various conventions, Nuremberg codes, the Geneva Convention, etc. etc. You can't just. And I mean, I have heard of things being used to, let's say, dispatch or quell an aggressor. Let's just put it that way. That really shouldn't have been used according to the sort of laws of war.
Rules of that's right. DJ Beato said rules of engagement. That's right. Yeah. But Alice Gorgeous says, Steve, can you do your presentation on a YouTube channel? This is what we hope to do. Well, I'd like to.
Can I chip in with that one?
Yeah.
Am I all right speaking here, Steve, about what we've got planned? Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's in the works. But it's taking its sweet time at the minute. So, but we're working on it. So there you go. We're
excellent.
Yeah,
I won't say too much, but there's a couple of projects underway. John Hamer as well has expressed to me that he would like further projects being set up as well. So that's. We'll bring it to you. Just give us a couple of months. Give us a couple of months to set it up, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, that's all planned. So
have a chat to me if you want to come to West Yorkshire. I know a few venues around here, so have a chat to me, and we'll try and get you something sorted in West Yorkshire as well.
Hey mate, that'd be great. Yeah.
Now you could pop. Barefoot Fondra said you could pop that chili glycerine tincture into a little spray bottle for your sore throat, suitably labelled. There we go.
Ouch.
Suitably labelled. Sore throat.
Yeah.
No mistakes. No.
I actually had a channel on BitChute, but I can't even access it myself now. So I had a handful.
I'll show you how to do it. It's all right. I'm on BitChute, and you have to do it through a
VPN.
VPN, yeah.
The thing is though, Chris. I mean, it's and yeah, we can use a VPN, but then all of the agenda that's been rolled out, that's not going to be an option soon, I don't think. I think they're going to come for VPNs next, and they're going to keep limiting until people decide to do what's right and to do what's necessary. And it's going to come down to that one way or another. We could either preempt it and probably make a better job of it, or we could wait for it to be too late and then scramble for for what comes after that. But yeah, I mean, Steve, I mean, you could upload to Rumble or something like that. I mean, I've got all my videos from BitChute as well, but it's just it's the idea of re-upload. I mean, it's a ball ache, isn't it?
Such a shame, such a shame.
I know.
The thing is, with YouTube, I've got the biggest audience still than Rumble, but this is why I'm a little bit careful. But well, I like DJB2 said that you should not misgender the enemy, or they will be in deep doo-doo. Yeah, did you ever? Yeah, I wonder if that's in the rule books, Steve. You misgendered them. You say, oh bloody hell, it should be a he, she, he, or whatever it is. Coming towards you. So I'm only joking.
I know what you mean.
That's it. But to lighten things up a little bit. I got this piece of crap through my letterbox today, which was junk mail. Before I put it in the bin, I thought, well, I'll just show people this. And it says here, now I've got nothing against the firm that's doing this. They got on a, they're on a bit of earner. Your NHS prescriptions delivered for free to your door. And there's a woman that says she's been using this for 6 years. Now, doesn't the penny ever drop that if you need a repeat prescription, it must be crap? Because, all right, there's some people with long-term illnesses that need repeat prescriptions, but on such a marvelous, huge scale. I mean, where I live, you see most of my neighbours coming back with their little goodie bags. I
tell you what, the thing is, Eric, behind your prescriptions being delivered is some dodgy fucker, some person in a white gown that's going to come and COVID and flu inject you, right? So you got to be very careful.
You just got your demonetized again, Chris. Look at that. That's you struck off and everything. Well done, well done.
As this bloke, he works in a chemist shop. Has he ever heard of a shaver or a razor blade that you can have a bleeding shave? I mean,
he's one of the people. He's one of the people, right? That's why.
Yeah. Yes, that's it.
Do you know that in the last week alone, I've had I think 5 texts.
Yeah.
Asking me if I want my job. No, COVID, the fact that you keep sending me it 6 months after, it's continuous. Can't get a doctor's appointment.
Isn't that funny?
Not that I want one.
It's everybody else has.
And I didn't hear any of that because.
Harmacy, I like that one. That is gorgeous.
Harmacy, okay.
It's a harmacy. Yeah. Oh, that's a clever one. And a tip: never scratch your badgers after handling chili. Yes. You only need to do it once. Now what's this? Isn't crossbow 44? I don't understand that one. Do you understand it, Steve? Isn't crossbow 44? I don't know.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
No. But you make your own. You make your own easy peasy. It's like with catapults. Boing, Now, Hachi said, get a power pack that's plenty of solar panels in farmers' fields. Miliband will love it. Grow some veg, kickstart the economy, and free lighting. Yes, you can actually get ex-solar farm panels now for very, very cheap. About 250 watt, apparently.
Because they don't work.
Well, they've been in for 10 years and they've got a 25-year life expectancy. That's what they say. You can believe that.
But how do you dispose of them? Because aren't they full of materials that you can't dispose of, and they're not degradable? And
it's like the electric cars. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, I said that someone was talking about electric cars, and they said the Nissan Leaf, when it first came out, it had a range of up to 60 miles. Huh? 60 miles. So that means you can only go maximum about 30 miles from your house and 30 miles back. And then you can get an upgrade battery, which you can do 100 miles. Oh yeah, and then you have to wait around for about an hour to charge the bloody thing. Now, what? This is interesting. Haji says, I'm at the Quacks tomorrow. Doctors. Oh dear, sorry, mate.
Sympathy cards in the post.
Yes, that's right. Or what I
won't go. I've got no reason to go.
Medical Muppets. Crete Healthcare and Dentistry is holistic and quick. Pay, but cheap and worth it. And worth
Yeah, I
it.
definitely
Yes,
recommend Crete. It's an awesome place, by the way, if you've never been.
Well, my sister went there and she said that you could drink alcohol, but you don't get a headache the next day because it's all natural. It's all from herbs and that. And you just, drink it all back and that's it.
See, someone's mentioned bug out bag there, Eric, right? Bug out bag for Steve. What is it?
It's where you keep your bugs, isn't it? I declined this is Alice Gould just says, I declined a rectal examination, smear test, a boob inspection, bunch of perverts. I agree. Yes. No health supplied. Yes, I think that a lot of perverts work.
In regard to this, so have you noticed how if you've got a genuine health concern, they won't see you, right? It's effectively a removed service. But all of these tests that they call you in for, right? I mean, it's to me, it's almost like advertising ill health to you, right? It's like, oh, you might have this, so come in, we can prod and poke you and try and trigger some nasty reactions in your body, and then tell you that you've got something that we can medicate you for. All of these things, like the tests that you just mentioned there. I mean, it's like all the billboards. We've mentioned this in the past, haven't you? Oh, you might have prostate cancer. Yeah, but equally, I probably don't. So, I think I would, things like that. No, sod off.
Are they getting data? Are they getting data from you? So you go up and they need to think they put chemtrails for the last 10 years, vaccines. So they're getting data from you now, your body, right? Maybe, don't know.
But I don't like the word above doctors. It says practice. I think that really sums it up. Practice.
Well, they practice medicine, right?
That's right. They practice. You go to an airport and it says terminal. It doesn't give you a very good feeling when you going to get on a plane, does it? Terminal, Yes. Now, where are was this? Survival Stavros.
I want the book out back.
I've just seen it. That's a classic one.
I've just put that in the studio, haven't I? I should have put it in this one.
Yes. Unfortunately, only we could see that.
It's come up as Rumble only.
Yeah, move to Crete, Steve. We all need an apocalypse holiday destination. Yes,
definitely.
Yes.
Or we could just curtail the apocalypse and get rid of the government. I mean, I don't know why we haven't come to that conclusion yet.
Well, to me,
because people are still under the impression that we need authority figures and we need religious leaders and we need people to tell us what to do and we need people to tell us how to behave, and that the people haven't quite grasped the fact that if we were left to be autonomous, the world would probably benefit from that. Not straight away, because we've got a lot to learn in the process.
Exactly.
But we've become, as a species, we've become dependent on others. We've become unskilled largely. I don't mean like people don't have skills, but we should all have a skill set that everyone has got to be able to just function without. Do you know what I mean? Like on a basis of common sense, even, and maturity. Well, this is a problem, mate. They treat us like infants, so we act like infants. So they then ramp up their control and their authoritarianism, because then we continually fall into the trap of, they must be superior to us because they're telling us how it is, and we're not intelligent enough to figure it out for ourselves. And yet that's completely the opposite of the truth. And again, so this is where Steve and I will talk about natural law, which I'd love to go into in a full show, but not this one tonight, because obviously you go too far off it. But I've made some very interesting discoveries in terms of that, especially the psychology linked to it. Oh God, now, but saying that again, just we don't need the government. We've just been convinced that we do. We don't need religious leaders. We've just been convinced that we do. What we do need is autonomy, critical thinking, open-mindedness, love, care, and compassion. I think with all that mixed in together, we might be able to figure it out for ourselves, and I think the world would be a hell of a lot better for it. There you go.
I 100% agree with you, because really, it's sheep. It's like sheep voting for the sheepdog, for a sheepdog that they want. That's really what it is.
What's that saying? It's two sheep and a wolf deciding what to have for dinner. I can't remember the exact quote, but that's exactly what it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think if everyone read your book and joined the Occult Academy.
Plug it.
I mean, within 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, we had the whole world cracked. I mean, we're just doing window dressing now.
But that's thank you. But I mean, yeah, do please buy the book. But it's not right. So the thing with natural law, right? The solution to all this, if you can figure out the problem, you can figure out the solution, and it's actually just not that difficult. It's really not. But people will look at this information and say, no, no, I've got my own solutions, blah blah blah, or it can't be that easy. But the thing is, it can be that easy, because we go through periods of history. There's certain cycles where the whole idea of tough times create tough men create good times, right? It's that thing of maturity and discipline and intellect and care and again, put all these things together, and you have a fully functional society. If you take people's capabilities away from them and you make them feel stupid, and look at all of this woke stuff that David was talking about earlier, that's a disempowering maneuver. That is meant deliberately to make us feel like victims, right? What good is that going to do? If we think we are victims, we act like victims. If we act like victims, we're gonna create a scenario where we need somebody to come in and rescue us, right? Well, who are the people that are going to come and rescue us? The governments.
People that take advantage.
They don't just take advantage; they take the piss. Let's be honest about it. But it's not. The solution is just not that difficult. But it does require. Can I say re-education at this point? Is that going to get us? I mean, he's already mentioned the vax word. But
if I'm kicked off, see, I've got Dr. Mayhew next week. And if I'm kicked off of YouTube, my audience is just that's it.
Eric, can I say one thing that from what Nathan said there? It is very simple, and I don't. I'm a Christian, so I don't want to batter that thing. But cosmic law, right? Natural law comes down to a Christian law, and it's very simple. And that you need to surround yourself with people, and unfortunately we're not. The fuckers that take advantage, as Nathan says, all sorts of things, demonic effers, right? But do as you would be done by. It's so simple. You don't need more than that. As you would be done by, and that's the starter to natural law and cosmic law.
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Can I add to that? Because I think Steve and I, with us being familiar with the teachings of Mark Passio, especially, he would take the do unto others as you would have them do unto you. He would say that do that in reverse almost, is don't do to others what you don't want other people to do to you. But effectively it's the same. Do as you would be done by. Treat others with the same level of compassion and understanding and treatment that you would expect them to do to you. Exactly, it's civility, it's common decency, and we've lost a grip of this. And it's not that we're not capable of it as a species. You take us back to the 1950s. I would argue that the vast majority of the population would live by these standards anyway.
Me too.
I agree with you. And now, should we on the bug out bag? I'd like to know what to put in my a bug out bag.
I want to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you put in a bug out bag? Bugs?
Well, that's a good point. I mean, I have covered a few things about bug out bags on my Survive the Apocalypse channel, but I have a bug out bag. In fact, I've got 3 bug out bags because it depends on the scenario. So, and again, this is something you'd have to come up with your own kind of, let's just say, rudimentary plan. I mean, you can pack a bug out bag, which you fit in a shopping bag, for example, your bug out equipment, but it ain't going to get you far if you have to live in the woods for a week. Alternatively, if all you're going to do is walk around to a neighbour's house and survive the apocalypse there, or whatever the scenario might be, you don't need to take a huge, massive expedition bag. However, that depends on your circumstances and how you envisage the emergency or disaster or whatever taking shape. So I've got, as an example, my bug out bag is prepped for 3 days worth of living in the field or living in the woods. Living in the field is just an expression, out in nature. So I've got things like an axe and saw so I can procure firewood. I've got a sleeping bag, a very lightweight one. I'm not going to be comfortable for 3 days. And if it's winter, I'm going to be very cold. I've got sensible clothing. I've got some food and some water and some cooking fuel. It's basically, what would you take if you went camping for a couple of days, a weekend, if you were away hiking in the lakes, for example, what would you take? Well, you've got to take similar things to eat, things to drink, something to cook with, something to sleep in, warm clothing, spare pair of socks. Again, it depends entirely on the circumstances. Or I've also got another bug out bag, which is a lot lighter, a lot more maneuverable, but I can't live out in the woods for 3 days and expect to be comfortable with that one. So again, there's a lot of variations to it, but fundamentally, what do you need to live? Well, you need food, water, warmth, shelter, all the survival priorities. So that's what you need to kind of cover. I mean, I'm happy if you want to do a show on that or discuss that in more detail. I mean, I can dig equipment out.
I was going to say, well, can we not do that? I mean, do you need to prep for it? Because, well, no pun intended. But I mean, that's kind of like we've gone down that route today anyway. I mean, could you give us some basics, like just a basic list to say what we would need? You know, even as just a start, even if we go out and forage food for yourself and you know what to look for and things like that.
What sort of food? What sort of food do you use? Dehydrated? I mean, what's the best way? Because you need lightness, but you also need something that's going to last long. So tins are no good, are they? So
Do you know what?
Can you imagine looking at 20 tins with you? I'm just going to have some. I forgot that tin over there.
Baked beans not worth it. Baked beans not worth it. Yeah.
All right. Well, so what I would say to that is, imagine, I mean, one of my bug out bags is kind of prepped for a 3-day where I would walk to if I had to walk or cycle to a certain destination, well, that would cover me for that journey. Obviously, I don't want to be walking and hiking for 3 days with something I can't lift. So it has to be of a sensible weight distribution as well. I wouldn't say don't take tinned food, but if you take 3 days worth of tinned food, it's going to weigh a ton. So what I've got food-wise in a 3-day pack is enough food that would normally class as 24 hours worth of food. So, and again, people think, well, why have you only got 24 hours worth of food? Well, I'm gonna go hungry for that duration.
Can I just interrupt again then? So would it not be then? I mean, because so yourself and Holly, right? Brilliant foragers. Isn't it more useful to have the knowledge of what you can eat and survive off in the wild than actually taking stuff with you? Do you know what I mean? So if you know what to look for and what will keep you, if you know that theoretically, that's going to get you a hell of a lot further than taking even if it is freeze dried food or things like that. Sorry to interrupt there, by the way. I just
No, that's perfect. That's an excellent point. I mean, that's what I would do. Supplement my diet with what I can forage. And in fairness, unless it was the depth of winter, I would, in fact, even in winter, I'd still be able to forage.
Not with bare feet, though. Holly, you don't want bare feet at that moment. It's so cold, you get frostbite, right?
Do you know she actually does it in bare? It's bizarre. I mean, the whole barefoot thing. I'm like, oh right, that's a thing.
I'm not surprised. That doesn't shock me.
I'm a bit braver than I am. Let's put it that way. So there we go.
So I tell you, if you wanted just a quick top of the head answer for one thing that you can do food wise, a jar of peanut butter. Loads of calories in that. It lasts for ages. I mean, it's quite hard to digest, so you definitely want a cup of tea with it. But if you only carry one item of food, just get a jar of peanut butter. It's, like I say, loads of calories. Make sure you've got a spoon, otherwise you're going to get a sticky finger trying to get to the bottom of that. And again, it's got nutrition in, and it'll keep you going for a while. Bit boring after a while, though, but you get the idea.
Protein as well, isn't it? I mean, you've got. Presumably, you've got some oils and fats in there, and you've got protein, so that'll keep you running. I mean, hey, I don't know this nearly as much as yourself and Holly, but I mean, I do think it's essential, especially at the minute. I mean, it goes back to that autonomy thing again. Even if you're not on the run, even if you're not fighting for your life, this stuff can come in real handy because it teaches us how to be, independent of the state, independent of all of the modified crap that we find in supermarkets.
I would say if you've not got a bug out bag, then you've not been posting the right material on Facebook. Because let's face it, I mean, one of the reasons I've got a bug out bag is because the cops in the UK are an absolute disgrace.
Well said.
I mean,
Oh, they are.
World War II Nazi Germany. That's what I would say to that. And if people don't realise that, well, you need to do a little bit more digging to realise what's going on in the world. I mean,
they're just bully boys, aren't they? Let's face it, cops are bully boys. They're not there to protect the innocent and all of that. You know, they're there to protect the state. They're there to protect the status quo. No,
I mean, if anyone thinks they're there to protect the innocent, you must be having a laugh.
But also, no one's coming to save you. Should the electric go off, the police aren't coming. The government, no one's coming to. You've got to get that in check. No one is coming to save you. You need a few good people around you, and like Steve said, you need your bug out bag sorted, and a few plans maybe. You know, is your car full of petrol? You know, whatever. A few things like that. You need stuff like that because no one's coming. You know, don't think it's amazing, isn't it? The way that during COVID they got all this stuff set up, and my God, that hospitals set up within days, huge hospitals, and then as the car parks full of to give you jabs, but you wait till the electric goes off. There, pretty much Sweet FA is going to be done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it pays to have a little, even if it's just a rudimentary knowledge of what you would do, disaster planning, what you would do survival wise, because it just takes daft things like that to really muck your week up. You know, the water's switched off or the electricity's gone down. That can be quite a hardship for a lot of people if you ain't prepared. And that just takes simple things like, well, you ain't got a lot of food in the house because you don't, usually live day to day. I mean, if you can't get to the shops or the electricity's off, that's going to really foul up your week.
It is, but you know what our mindset is at the moment? We always think it's going to come on tomorrow. The electric, water, we just assume. We've been conditioned into thinking the society is so stable it's going to come on tomorrow. What if it doesn't? I don't want to be depressive, but you've got to think, what if it doesn't? What if these things don't come on tomorrow, right?
Yeah. I mean, I literally don't flap over any of this. The zombie apocalypse, I'm like, what we do?
I can attest to that as well. Yeah, he's just nice and calm. But one of the reasons for that is, but one of the reasons for that is, and again, it's probably been a little bit easier for me because I used to do this for a job. You know, everything we done in the military, we had bug out bags. We didn't call them bug out bags, but that's essentially how the military operate. You've got things ready at a moment's notice, and if something happens, like the S hits the F, you're there immediately and you can respond immediately because you've got all the kit packed, you've got all your self-defense tools, and you're good to go. So the zombies don't stand a chance. But if you've got some rudimentary planning done and you've got some preparation done at home, what you've got is you've given yourself a load of reassurance. Because nothing's, because even if it doesn't happen and there's no chance of it happening, well, you can, in your mind, it's like, oh, well, if that happens, I've got it sorted. I'm good to go.
It's an insurance policy. You're quite right. Yeah. It's a very very good one.
But how far have we come now? How many people do we genuinely look? Right, Steve, you've got a military background, right? I'm still learning this stuff from yourself and others. How this information has largely been lost, right? If like David says, everything goes off tomorrow, people are just gonna fall straight into panic and chaos, and of course then they can take advantage of that. So maybe it'll never happen, but is it not best to be prepared just in case it does? Either way, is it not best to have that mindset that, okay, well, let's hope that it never does, but at least if it does, then we can be prepared. At least we know the people that we can go to, and we've got some rudimentary skills. We can have that independence and autonomy, and that mindset that if things do go to shit, all right, well then we'll just have to make the best of it. And we've lost that largely. Let's bring it back then, because that's the last thing they want. So then it becomes our job, the job of the resistance, the job of the people that are going against the state who can see what's happening, worldwide. This isn't just specific to our country; it's coming in everywhere. So it's our task then to bring it back.
Yeah, they expect.
Let's do it. So carry on.
they expect and they want people to panic, and that's when they might make their move that they could. I think they tried to make a few moves during COVID, but it didn't. It was such a bad job. They did such a bad job of it. It was laughable.
Yeah.
But let's say something else happens. And like Nathan says, it's the mentality. It's better to have a bug out bag there and think you've got a vague plan. That because do you know what? Most people are going to crack up. You watch your neighbours on the street. Most people are going to go loopy the moment something strange happens. Right when tomorrow is not like today. People are going to really panic, right? And so you've got even if there's not a chance, maybe it's not going to work with your bug out bag and your car and your little plan. But it's good at least if you're sane for 24 hours, you're in a better situation than most people, right?
Yeah,
one chap.
I absolutely agree.
One chap.
Sorry, just can I just chip in with this? So the Illuminati, the elites, whatever the hell you want to call them at this point, parasites, assholes, take your pick. But they've got a phrase. Beautiful chaos, right? Which is, so we like to think that they've got everything ordered and that they've got everything planned down to the minute detail, which in a lot of cases is true. But they've also got this principle of, well, sometimes we just like to release the chaos because then the people will just lose their shit collectively and they will flock towards the authority figures, right? I mean, so to them, this is like, oh, this is wonderful. We're just going to allow this to happen and see what happens. I mean, it's like some of the comments I've not really been able to catch up with them, but on the occasions where the internet goes down, people do lose their stuff. It's like they've been snowed in for months. Oh, I can't get on my phone. I can't get it. Well, why can't you? Stop being so dependent on them then. Stop. The only reason that the smart grid gets its claws into us in the first place is because people are all too happy to flock towards it and to be dependent on their phones and to be dependent on the internet. Well, there's only one solution to that then, isn't there? Because we never had the internet 50 years ago and we did quite well, actually, I thought. I think we did better. So learn to live without it then. Okay, there's certain things you can't do. Oh, we've lost one. Oh, come back. But it's just that. It falls to the likes of us then to not let that happen because then we become comfortable in the fact that it happens in the first place. Well,
that's right, and I think also what I've been looking at is that if you've got something that somebody else wants, they'll take it, and this is why it's important to have communities growing food, neighbours, so you can look after, as a group, look after your food and your supplies, and I think that is very, very important because no man is an island. And
John Milton?
I think that's what he said. But Steve, as you said, looking at security of your own house, very important. I think you said that on a few shows ago, and I think that if you could say, well, I'm growing potatoes, and my neighbour's growing this, and somebody else is growing that, but unfortunately, where I live, I'm the only one that's growing food. My neighbour next door just goes down the garden centre and has got beautiful plants, and the one on the other side's the same. More interested in the plants, not growing food. I can get that down at Tesco's, And one of them said, if there's a shortage of food, we know where to come. And I was quite serious about it. I said, well, you won't, because that food will be for me. I'm sorry, I've got to be selfish. If you don't plan ahead, it's your fault. That food is for me.
You've got to love that. I mean, the hubris of that. It's just like, hang on a minute. Well, shouldn't if you think you're going to flock to me because I'm stockpiling and because why don't you do it then? That's cheeky as hell. I was like,
and another one said, well, I've stocked up a little bit. I've got a couple of cans of soup. I said, well, how long's that going to last you? Oh yeah, but you don't need shortage for a little while. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, look, I mean, during the debacle of the last 5 years, I stocked up on tins as well. I stocked up on pasta and rice, and a lot of us did, because at least it's there in the meantime, and you can potentially survive a couple of weeks on that if you need to. But it's still not a solution to the problem, isn't it? The solution to the problem is remove the problem in the first place, which is government, etc., etc. But I would also say that part of that problem, and sorry to sound like I'm on repeat one, but it's your mindset, it's maturity, it's critical thinking, it's compassion, right? It's care for others, it's care for yourself, for Christ's sake. Just figure this stuff out. We've lost it. It's a lost art. If you figure that out, you're going to find that actually, if you don't have a bunker full of tins, you'll be all right. you regrow your community. Get that
You're
support
right.
network back in
You're right.
place, because what do we do without it? We're going to
Well,
walk around like headless chickens.
Barefoot
You know?
400 said Amazon servers went down yesterday, took down loads of websites and banks. Klaus Schwab promised us rolling brownouts. Yes, and
Well,
I
we
think
can totally
it was
trust
hackers.
Klaus Schwab, can't we?
Yes.
They'll probably do it as well. I didn't know that.
Alice Gorgeous said,
didn't know
I
that.
won't feed my neighbours. I've no idea how long I will last, so kids and me come first. That's precisely
Yeah.
what I was putting over. It sounds selfish, but in a survival situation, that food that I've stored is mine. And that sounds awful. But in a non-survival situation, yes, I'll share it, and if it's okay. But I've got a feeling it won't be like that. You'll be able to get food that the government issues, but it'll be high carbohydrate crap. That's all it'll be.
High sugar as well, yeah.
High
So
sugar.
this is another thing I keep hearing from various people in our movement and similar movements is that, oh, they're going to cut the electrics off, oh, they're going to cut the food supply off, and they're getting genuinely stressed about it. My argument is, no, they won't. No, they won't, because that will trigger a revolution. People will actually, they'll have no choice at that point. But again, it'll be a chaotic revolution. It's not going to be like what we want, but people will rebel against the state. They will see it for what it is. So no, I don't think they are going to cut the electrics off. I don't think they are going to cut the internet off. I don't think they're going to cut your food supply off. What they are going to do is they're going to keep you hooked on a smart grid, so that they can control your behavior and your actions and your interactions and how you spend your money and all of that stuff. That's what so they're not going to. They've spent all this money and all this time putting the technocratic structures into place. They're not going to switch it off, which means they need the electricity to be switched on. And as for food, I don't think they're going to cut your food off either. What they will do is replace it with crap. And
right.
It's guilty. I eat a fair bit of junk food, as certain people in the comment will attest. But the thing is, it's still not good for you, right? It does screw your health up. It does make you ill quicker. You are effectively poisoning yourself, which is great for the state that wants to keep you subdued and under control. Because if you're poisoning yourself with crap food that you're not getting enough mineral intake from, where do you go? You go straight to them. And then they can reinforce their health narratives. Then they can reinforce their political narratives. And then they've got you. No,
And help you
exactly
with junk. I mean, before I put it in the bin, I mean, this is just junk mail that came around to everybody. But, you get some unshaven geezer that can give you your prescriptions delivered for free to your door. So,
but then look at that. Well, look at what that's doing, right? What is that promoting? Laziness, dependence on others, insufficiency. Why can't people go and collect their prescriptions? Yeah, it's a pain in the arse, but if you need your medication, if you don't use your legs and if you don't exercise and you're not practicing, why do you need this stuff being brought to you? Go and get out for an hour a day.
Yeah,
What's
I mean, but
wrong
I
with
can
people,
understand. I can understand highly disabled people wanting it and things like that. I mean, I used something
To a
like this when
point.
when my father was sick because I couldn't leave him, so someone had to deliver it. But you see, the thing is that the state wants you dependent on them, but the thing that might solve something, and that is a Carrington event. And a Carrington event is where you have from the sun, and we're due for one soon, where we have a solar storm, and it wipes out our electricity grid. And then their computers and all their smart IDs and Christ knows what will be absolutely useless.
Right.
Because of this.
And we're all afraid of that. Are we all afraid of that? Does that mean we'd have to build communities again and read books again and learn how to operate on the earth, and rely on the earth instead of ripping it to bits and chopping all the trees down? You mean it might cause a bit of a stir for their technocratic infrastructure and it might not work? Oh my God, what are we going to do? Oh,
you usually think it.
Sorry, sarcasm overload there, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, the only cars that will work will be the ones that have got no electronics on it. So old cars will work. Very old cars, but modern cars won't. Electric cars, they'll be buggered. They will. Won't have solar. What do you call it? Things on your roof, on panels. I'm not sure whether they'll be fried or not. I don't know whether they would survive a Carrington event.
I love the irony of some of this stuff. I mean, but think about what they're doing, right? The irony of putting solar panels everywhere and building on all these farmlands, all the solar fields. What bloody sunshine are we getting? We're getting minimal sunshine because they keep blocking it out with chemicals. Oh, sorry, that's just a theory again, isn't it? Yeah, sure is. But it's a bit ironic, isn't it? They're getting us all hooked up to solar panel whilst blocking out the sun's rays. It's a bit crazy, isn't it?
I'm sorry to hear this, Hatchy. I'm badly disabled. At the docks tomorrow, golly, it can be a bad boy. Yes, unfortunately, if you're under the medical muppets, it's no laughing matter. It's really quite a serious.
And
because,
by the way, that
keep
when
waiting
I was saying earlier about get out the house and do it. Yeah, if you can't do it, then fair enough. But again,
this is where something like this would come in handy. I agree. And
yeah,
I think it's a pretty good service. I'm not actually going for the service. I've got nothing against these people. Good luck to them. I think it's a fantastic idea. But what I'm getting at is nobody questions why they need a repeat prescription if they're what they're churning out is any good. I mean, admittedly, natural does take a long time. Sometimes, not always. I mean, Miles was telling me some of the stuff works in almost instantly. So, boom, you're there. But
well, I'll give you a personal example on this front, right? So I've got. Oh God, I don't want to say what it is because people are like, right, okay, no. I've got certain health issues that required me to take a medication. Now, the idea was that this was supposed to be a short-term patch, to get me over like a short-term period, if you like. But what it did is it got me hooked onto this stuff. Right, and so now my problem is not that I need it; it's that I can't come off it easily because of what it does to me during the withdrawal phase. So again, if they get you hooked on this medication, they've got you because it's supposed to be for 6-month periods of time to get you over a tough patch, right? But they don't do that now. Now they want you on medication for life, knowing that it's going to poison you, knowing that it's going to shut down your organs eventually.
Well, this is the thing, and Hereditary Skeptical just said about solar panels here. Now, I saw something on YouTube. Now, I'm just repeating what this scientist said, okay? And he said that solar panels, if you stand under them, the electric current causes depression. Be careful. So if you've got like a caravan, you've got solar panels on it, fine, but keep out in the open air. If you spend a day inside the caravan, you get depressed because of
but then look how many people have had them put on their roofs so that it can save 10% of their electricity bill every year.
Precisely.
Right? So that's keeping it. So again, it's keeping people subdued, and that's just going to promote more dependency on the state, isn't it?
Yes. Now Alice Gorgeous said David Cameron don't mention anything about his what's it in a pig's mouth. Man, had solar
because how the hell did that go? I mean, that just on its own should have got him kicked out of office. But anyway, that's a side note. I mean,
I agree with you. And it's all coming out about Randy Andy now, isn't it? David Cameron had solar panel farms in Oxfordshire in 2015, whilst he pushed the fracking on communities. That's right. And I said fracking, anyway. Alice Gorgeous says panels have a 10-year lifespan, and you see, if you've got a car like I've got, a smart car eats power, eats batteries. I don't know quite why. If you don't use the car for about 3 or 4 days, the battery goes flat, and it's not because of a short. It's just I don't know quite what it is. So I've got a solar charger on it. Fantastic when the sun shines. Last couple of days, shit, it's crap, But my old 1989 Toyota, that's all right because that was before all the electronic gadgetry and that. So that battery keeps fine on that. Although that's in the garage most of the time because it's classic, car. But the thing is that the big problem with these electric cars, again, is you think of all that electromagnetic smog inside the vehicle. Can't really be doing you much good, can it? Really? Yeah. Now, you wouldn't want to eat pig's cheeks after Cameron's had a go. That's right. Yes. But there we go.
Not sure I want
Well,
pig's cheeks anyway, to be fair. What was that, super streaky bacon or what? I don't know.
that's right. Well, you wouldn't want pig's ears, hearing aids made of pig's ears, because it'd be a lot of crackling, wouldn't there? Sorry.
That's good.
Boris held the pig's head for Cameron.
I'd say they could open a pub, but they've been too busy shutting all the pubs down, so that, you know.
That's right. Well, anyway,
Pig's head.
thank you, gentlemen, for coming on tonight. It's much appreciated. And it was excellent. I just hope I'm not going to get banned on this show. But if I am banned and you don't see anything on next Sunday, then you'll know that I'll be on Rumble. Okay.
Oh, no, you just put another channel up called Eric Von Essex The Return, right?
You could do, yes. But the thing is Dr. Mayhill's coming on Monday, next Monday, and she's excellent. And she talks about, hang on, what's this Aunt Sally said?
Do you know what? I've just as you've clicked on that, right? That wouldn't surprise me.
Hang on,
not that one.
About pigeons. Last night, we were on about pigeons, and that Cameron Pighead story is Aunt Sally. It's just theatre, distraction, humiliating.
Would it really surprise you? Because it gives you something to talk about, doesn't it? And then half the people won't believe you, and the other half will be too engrossed in it, whilst they're getting away with all these malevolent policies coming in. So, yeah, do you know what? Potentially.
Because remember, psychopaths don't show embarrassment. They don't understand embarrassment. They don't get embarrassed. You notice that?
That's why I pinch myself to make myself go red sometimes.
Well, anyway.
Okay, I'm not a psychopath.
Please either read Nathan's head, or below you'll see on Telegram, which is the place to be. This is Steve's website. Not website. Telegram channel. Survive the Apocalypse with Steve. You've also got another one, haven't you? The Occult Academy.
The Occult Academy, yeah. Now, Steve, I mean, you're pretty much propping that up at the minute, so I think it's only fair for you to give that one a shout out. Because to be fair, if anyone is interested in this stuff, I mean, Steve is prolific. I mean, he really, really puts a lot of effort and work into this stuff, and he does it well. So, please, if you want to join our groups, do so. But Steve, you're absolutely fantastic with this stuff. So.
Thanks, man. I mean, if some of the things I might have mentioned, so when I say things like get rid of the cops and get rid of the government, I mean, it's not just because I don't like them. There's actually a very particular reason why. And, we go into detail why this is so. And I'm not saying the material's easy. It takes a little bit of time for it to sink in. But when you realize it, you will have an epiphany and you'll think, how have I allowed this to enter my life all this time when it's all a complete crock? It's all an illusion. It's basically
when it clicks, it unfolds, and it's brittle. I mean, this is like a couple of days just sat there thinking it through and putting it into, that's just a couple of days. I would advocate for everyone to just get a pad and a pen, learn the basics, and then figure it out for yourself. Just write things down. How does that relate to that? If that happens, then what? If I do that, then what? Right? Just adding to what you're saying there, Steve. It's really not difficult, but if you go through the motions, get a pad and a pen, and just sit there and think and challenge yourself, it'll come to you.
Well, I'll tell you something else I do. I mean, I don't know whether you do this when you're writing a book. I have a notepad open all the time around me, and I think of something, and I just write it down. And then I write paragraphs of the book, and just as it comes in, because if you leave it for a few moments, it'll go. What was in your mind?
Yeah.
That's what I do. Actually, I've looked on Occult Academy, and I can't actually take a copy of the link to it. I don't know why, but I can't. I don't know why.
What do you mean?
On Telegram. So it's HTTP. I think it's the same as HTTPS / and whatever t.me / and I think it's just the Occult Academy, isn't it, that you put on there?
I don't, because so when I put the group together, it's very bizarre because it won't let me pin stuff. I mean, it's I can pin it, but I can't unpin it.
Well, this is what happened with my Fockham Hall one. My Fockham Hall one, people couldn't comment on it, so I've opened up a second one where people can comment.
Yeah.
So So this is a very, very weird thing. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to give myself a plug here. So my one is that one, Fockham Hall Radio Chat. But Fockham Hall Radio on its own, you can't comment on it. I don't know why, but anyway, Fockham Hall Radio Chat. I mean, I've got over 150 or so people on Fockham Hall Radio, but the chat one, there's only about 40 or 50. So come on, let's build that one up, please. So let that go over 100. It's some lively chat on there, and I get stuff from Cult Academy, and we all share information.
Try this, Chris. I'm going to send you the link now. Well, I'm going to try. Oh, that's interesting.
What through Telegram?
Yeah, it's not letting me share it.
That's right. I couldn't actually get the link for a Cult.
Interesting. Right. Okay. I'll have a look into it and see what I can muster. But it's Telegram. I think everyone's just kind of. We just keep testing it until we figure it out, I guess. But
yeah. And I'll tell you another good one.
Sorry,
Gab.
Steve.
Sorry, Steve. What are you going to say?
No, I'll wait till you're finished.
What I was going to say is an alternative to Facebook, or also about Facebook as I call it, is Gab. I'm actually on Gab now, which is pretty good. But it's very American leaning, not some European. Very
Isn't
American.
that linked to BitChute somehow? Isn't that? I thought that was by the same guy who put BitChute together. Is it not?
I don't know. I can't answer. But Gab, if you've got a VPN, you can't get on it. It won't allow you on. You've got to be VPN free. Yeah. And because they did pull out of this country one time, but they come back now. But I prefer Gab to Facebook. It's much better. So I've got a presence on it. But the main one, I've got a Facebook one, and that's down below in the comments. Yeah. But the main one I comment on really is Fockham Hall Radio Chat. So, let's build up membership and the same. I do quite a few. We all help each other, don't we? We all go around on each other's sites, so we're all scratching each other's back. So it all helps. That tonight, Steve, was fantastic. What you showed, and we need to do another show soon on this. In fact, you're booked in. Did I tell you? You're booked in for when was it now?
Oh, remind me.
Oh, I got my piece of paper here. I've got it. I use the old method. You're booked in for it's the 20th today. You're booked in. The next one you're booked in for is the 10th of November. It's a long run, isn't it? But now next
that is as well.
Next Sunday's free. Next Monday it's Dr. Mayhill. And I bloody well hope I'm not booted off of YouTube because Dr. Mayhill, I want her to be, on YouTube. I want to be.
Chris, I wouldn't stress about it too much. I mean, look, a lot of this stuff now it's old news. They've moved on a bit, and so I think you can probably get away. Look, I mean, unless you're in it to be monetized, I think you'd be all right. I hope you'll be all right. But if not, look, if for anyone listening, we'll just set up another channel. We'll just don't stress about it, mate.
And
we'll figure it out.
Oh, that's kind. Thank you very much. On the 9th of November, Trevor John is on with Dan, a chappie called Dan, and he's in a group called Of Whom by Fire. So that's interesting. Right. So Dan will be on. And yes, I'm hoping to get John on as well.
He's been on before, I think.
Yeah. He was the one that did the funny tune. And I'm hoping to get John Hamer on soon as well. So that'll be good.
Well, anyway, John will have a bit of news for you in a while, but
is it good news? Again.
Yeah.
Is it good news?
Oh, very good news. Yeah.
That's good. So, now somebody said get Six Blade next week. We need to gen up on different levels of survival. If you're up for that on Sunday, Sunday's free, by the way.
Sure, I'll see if I'm available. I mean, if the survival stuff's of genuine interest, I mean, I'll ramp it up with whatever people want to know about. I mean, I've obviously brought a few trinkets today.
First class, absolutely.
If you want to do things like bug out bags and what have you, I can certainly cater for that and put some sort of half decent little package together if that was of value.
And you got me interested in catapults because I was never allowed to have weapons.
I never bloody used them to start with, you know.
So that's the thing, because I just wasn't allowed to have weapons. So I say toy weapons, not real ones, obviously. So I'm having a second childhood. I wasn't allowed to have a bike. Now I've got loads of bikes. But I'll tell you what I was going to say is one chap, he's got a backpack. And he's got a shopping trolley as well. I guess he keeps the food in the shopping trolley, so you can always discard.
His little bug out plan with the shopping trolley. Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen it done.
Traveling through the woods though.
or the sand. Try that on the beach, mate.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah, we've done that with a wheelbarrow. My God, that was difficult.
Oh yeah.
I think I'll just carry it next time. So a couple of sticks on our shoulders will do that. That'll be much better.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you, Alice. That's very kind what you said there. I doubt you get a bad. Well, actually, I've got what you've got, Nathan, isn't it? I suffer from the same as what you have. So that's.
I mean, which bit we've got that much going on? I've forgotten what's wrong with me half the time.
Anxiety problems.
Oh yeah.
Mind you, I'm sort of. I wouldn't say it's over it, but you never do get over. But there we are. Tarp and paracord, Steve.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Hatchie sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Yes, he does. And also, Mark Anthony, excellent show tonight. Always informative. That's excellent. Thank you. Fantastic. And I'll tell you something else. Push bike, get a single speed. Shall I tell you why? They're bulletproof. So if you need to cycle anywhere, things like derailleur gears, they'll always go wrong when you need them desperately. And you always got to keep adjusting them. Not a lot. They're pretty foolproof now. But the old type bikes, the old derailleurs are better than the modern ones, I think. That's my personal view. But a single speed, you won't go as fast, but it's bulletproof because the chain doesn't move. You can go for miles on them, Anyway, is there anything you'd like to say to the audience before we go? And been fantastic.
Love the comments in the chat, by the way. There's some proper funny stuff. I like the one about being buried under the patio, so tip top.
What are you trying to advocate there, Steve? I mean,
no, that was me getting buried under the patio, apparently.
I know. Well, this is why you're supposed to treat your table with respect and not burn the house down. That's selling you off here.
I tell you what, can I just mention, I do particularly appreciate the wedding proposal live on TV.
And I'm heartbroken she hasn't proposed to me.
Are we not, as men, are we not the ones that are supposed to be doing the proposing? Or is that all wokey-tokey, cokey now as well?
No, actually, I think a woman can propose. Is it on St. Valentine's Day? Is it? Have I got it right?
Well, I didn't get the memo, so whatever.
Yeah. But the trouble with St. Valentine's Day, I actually find that the postman delivering sacks and sacks of mail, it's terrible, isn't it? I wish.
Do people even do that anymore? I mean, is it? I don't know.
Well, I like to send stuff out. I sit at night, the firelight flickers. I think of you in your navy blue cardigan. Couldn't think of anything to rhyme there, so there we go.
No, I mean, it was quite scary because I've actually got a navy blue top, and okay.
Yes,
quite frightening.
Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, and remember, stick the old thumbs up. Please subscribe. If you're feeling generous, buy me a coffee. Is down below on Nathan's head, and because it saves me having to play the banjo outside the cinema. No, I'm only joking. And whatever happens, well, before I been asked, but anybody you want to see any more?
I'll echo what Steve said. Look, the chat's always lively, and it's got some good stuff going on in there. So keep coming along and see if you can get your friends to come along and join you as well. And let's see if we can get the numbers up, and have a bit of fun and educate the world. Let's bring back a bit of sanity. But yeah, cheers.
Thank you, gentlemen. And whatever happens, have a bloody good laugh and good night.